And welcome everybody to the Jim Master Show Live. Hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're having a great day. If you're not having a great day, well, this is the place to be lifted up. It's all about inspiration. It's all about positivity, good times, light, levity, and love, or as we call it here at the Jim Master Show Live, levity, a word we sort of stumbled on a couple of weeks ago. How's your day going? Hope you guys have had a good day. It's 7 p.m. Eastern here, so the majority of our day is through here. So we are really wrapping up a day with a wonderful opportunity to celebrate it with you and you and you and you and you. If it's early in the day for you, like our friends in New Zealand and Australia, then we say good day. We say good morning as you start your day. We do have an audience that's amazing worldwide. Last night, we had an audience where folks were watching in New Zealand, South America, South Africa, Japan. It just blows my mind. It's really amazing. We absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. Good to have you with us today. I am your host, Jim Masters. This is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series that we've created about 15 weeks ago now with show after show. We're on every single night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific live, putting smiles on your face with great entertainment, great conversation, lots of viewer interaction, on location segments, and we got to do some more of that soon. We've got to get out of the studio and get on the road, and we're going to do that real soon. Possibly this weekend, I think we're going to kick in some on location stuff, which is going to be amazing. But I want to welcome you all. If you've been with us throughout the entire 15 weeks, well, we say thank you very much. That's real loyalty. If you just joined us for the first time, well, we welcome you as well. I'm a professional television radio personality, host, journalist, actor, as well as voiceover artist, writer, producer, stage MC, you name it. Worked in the TV industry, radio industry for a long time. And we're celebrating life here on this show with viewers who are really interactive. And that's what I love. I love having an interactive broadcast like we do every single night. And we are here 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, live every night of the week. We're also booked with guests constantly as well, which is amazing, all the way until October, which is fantastic as well. So really excited and very happy to have you here. And of course, we do all of our welcomes. We start off in style with a toast. My hair's getting real long, isn't it? Very long and full. See the picture behind me? Usually it's like shorter like that. It's kind of cool. And when it blows in the wind over on the beach and the coast here, where we live along the coast, it's like whoosh, sort of like that California summer wind blown hair. It's amazing. Anyway, hope you're doing well, and I hope you're having a good hair day. Humidity can get to your hair too, right? Good to have you with us. And here's a toast to you and you and you and you and you all over the world. We always start with a toast. We're just having some nice fresh squeezed orange juice. That's it tonight. You know, every once in a while I have a craving for orange juice. Haven't had it in a while. And you just have a real, especially summertime. I don't know what it is about the summertime. I crave like orange juice, fresh squeezed, and sweet corn, butter and sugar corn, which we had some earlier. We picked up this week from a local farm, actually just yesterday, and it was absolutely delicious. And when you get corn, that's right off the stalks, and you just cook it up, and summertime, cucumbers and all the good stuff like that. But hope you guys are doing well. We have a really cool show in store for you, and a special guest that's going to be coming up during the course of the show. And our special guest is psychic medium, as well as healer, speaker, and author, Artie Hoffman. He's going to join us momentarily. And if you are interested in maybe having some questions shot out for our very special guest, Artie, you can certainly consider that and maybe put those ideas together, because we might have an opportunity to have that happen. This is Artie here. And again, he's going to be joining us momentarily during the course of our live episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. And matter of fact, they're all live. If you want to see anything in the archives, all you need to do is just go to our YouTube channel. If you ever miss an episode, want to watch the episodes again, All the past episodes of the Jim Master Show Live are available on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Jim Masters TV. Or you can just put in search at YouTube, Jim Masters TV. And if you can, we'd love it if you subscribe to the channel as well. That would be fantastic. So, great show in store for you. We're going to greet our fabulous audience as well in just a second. But of course, we have some more people. We call them our cast of characters that we want to welcome to the show, who are here and excited to see everybody. We show them every single night. There is George. George is here, and George says, welcome. He's part of the show officially. He's been with us for weeks and weeks and weeks now, and you guys have fallen in love with George Burns. This is the official commemorative George Burns doll that came out when he was 100 years old. My aunt collected dolls, Aunt Lillian, and this was hers, and then it got passed down to my cousin Barbara, and then Barbara gave it to me. And I had it, and all of a sudden when I launched this show 15 weeks ago with show after show after show, a few weeks in, we brought him on. He's sort of like my Ed McMahon. So he sees all of you. He greets all of you. He's got that perfect smile. He says hello. And we have another of our cast of characters joining here, Jeannie. And she's in the official I, Jim and Jeannie bottle, hand-painted, the original. Well, not the original. The original actually was a Jim Beam whiskey bottle that they used as the prototype on the I, Jim and Jeannie series. And then they created the Jeannie bottle. And I don't know if Barbara Eden has the bottle or if it's in the Smithsonian. I think there was a couple of versions. But a few years ago, there was an opportunity to get one of these. And this was actually given as a gift by one of my friends who knew that I was a fan of that sitcom. So there you go. And Jeannie is in there. Get real close. Can you see her? She is smiling at you and winking. She says hello as well. Again, the show is all about light, levity, and love. We like to have a good time. And we like to celebrate life. And in addition, your friend Silver is here. And Silver says hello. And we added a new cast to our cast of characters last night, if you missed it. Silver is here, and Silver greets you. Silver says hello. Again, if you're just joining us, because the show is still new, 15 weeks. I don't know if that's still new, but got him on a TV shoot in Europe. He comes from Switzerland. He made it all the way here to America, and there he is. He says hello, and he greets you. He greets you with a smile, which is perfect. And let's see, we're just checking on a text coming in here. Yes. It's our guest who's trying to get on. Just click the link. We're doing some behind the scenes there. He's having trouble getting on. Just click the link. The link that we sent. The one that's in the big bold blue letters. Just click the link. The link, not the YouTube link. The YouTube link is not the link to click. It's the other link, the streaming service link, if you're watching this. It's the one in the big blue letters. Hopefully, he will get that. And we will get him on. Anyway, if you only knew the stuff that goes on behind the scenes sometimes in advance of the show, we've had some guests who didn't get on until 7:01 because they didn't see the email or they didn't click on the link or they're scrambling or they never read the email until 2 minutes before the show went live. So we're scrambling, or they don't have on their computer the things they need to have so they can get on the show, or their cell phone's not working, or their laptop went down, or their battery isn't charged. Working in this industry as long as I have, I've seen that happen in television and in radio and on stage, some of the craziness that goes on before something actually happens and airs, and you just got to roll with it. We sent the link, and you have to click on it and you have to come in. Let me check again here. You can join me. We're getting texts back and forth. Well, I don't know. I don't know what to do or how to help you. Let's see if we can try to get him on some other way. You guys can just play amongst yourselves. We'll send him the link again. I'm actually going to send him the link. I have the link in front of me here. We'll send it again. We sent it like a week ago, and we're going to send it again. And the guests have the opportunity to test the links days before we come on. It's going to be sent to him again right now. All he has to do is click on it. He's a psychic medium. I shouldn't be telling him this. He knows this already. Here it comes. We're sending it to you again. Click on it. You've got your private access guest link. Got it? We will see him in a bit. Anyway, there's still time because we like to talk to the guests. So he's figuring that out. And while he figures that out, I do want to do something special, actually. Before I welcome the guests, I always call the viewers the guests, but the viewers on the show. This is a very important day for people in the broadcasting industry. And before I do that, I still have 2 more cast of characters. I tell you, if you only knew what goes on to put this show together. Behind the scenes. Okay, he's there. He's got it. So we're continuing with our cast of characters as we continue at 7:14 with the show open. Jimmy is here. Jimmy says hello. Jimmy welcomes you. Hopes everybody's doing well. Good to see everybody. And our new cast of character, if you didn't join us last night, Gilligan. Yes, Gilligan is here. The package came the other day, and it was really cool to see it. And this is the official Gilligan bobblehead doll. Now, this has a very special meaning. It's the Bob Denver Gilligan bobblehead doll, but this comes direct from Bob's wife, who is a dear friend who was also on the show about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was about 2 Saturdays ago. And if you didn't see that episode, it was fantastic. So she also signed it. Let's see if I can bring it in close. Aloha. Well, same thing. It's hello, right? Aloha, Jim, Dreama, Denver. It was a beautiful gift. If you remember when she was on our show, she said, you know, I love all these characters you have, the George, the Genie, the Jimmy, and the Silver. And I think Gilligan needs to be a part of the show. I'm going to send you an official commemorative Gilligan collector's doll because I'd love to see him on set. So we debuted Gilligan last night when we had magician David Malik on. A lot of people enjoyed that show. You know, he actually had even more magic tricks to do. So we're going to have him back again because he had a whole bunch of magic that he was going to do as well. So we're going to have him back and he'll do some live magic for us as well. But there's Gilligan up close and personal. You having a good time, Gilligan? Yes, he is. Bob Denver, who of course played Gilligan, he was also on Dopey Gillis. This is a really, really special gift, a really beautiful gift to have, and we really appreciate it, and we thank Dreama again. It's Aloha, Jim. Let's straighten that out. Dreama Denver. No, a beautiful thing for her to have done for us. Anyway, there should be vodka in that orange juice tonight, I think, instead of just, why did I go with just straight orange juice? Good to have everybody here. Let's check with the viewers. How are you doing? The cast of characters are good. I'm fine, but how are you doing? Let's check. We've got 73 comments already. Wow. 9 of them are probably about my long hair. We're just letting it grow this summer, you know, because, you know, we've been doing a few TV shoots, like 2 or 3, but normally I'd be in the studios, television station studios. I would be on location. I'm supposed to be in Ireland and Texas, Florida, a bunch of other shoots. I see a lot of that happening more in the fall. So I've just been letting it grow. And it's kind of cool. It's been really, you know, it's been, takes some time to manage it, you know, to get it together. Speaking my language. Sherry Lee, it's good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're doing well. And Willie sends her tulips. love Jim Masters show, Jim Masters and company. We love you there in the Netherlands. Thanks for joining us. There are your tulips we show you each night because it's 20 after 1 a.m. where you are in Holland. And we think it's really cool that you spend all this time with us. So there are your Dutch tulips that actually come from Amsterdam. It's amazing they got it. We got this on the luggage in the carry case, and none of these broke because these are hand painted wood. It's not amazing. So one of our fabulous souvenirs from our TV shoot. We had 2 TV shoots in the Netherlands, one last year, one the year before. And then we were in Greece, Germany, and Amsterdam on television shoots as well. And then we were also in SoCal. Very hot SoCal. Yes, I know. You guys are. California and the West is in the thick of it with the heat. And, of course, the fires a little further north, San Jose, Napa Valley again. Praying for you guys. Hope that California cools off, Nevada. I was the guest of a radio show last night, Michael Moore. Right after I did this show last night, I then took the headphones off, turned our crew turned everything off, the studio lights and everything, and then got a drink of juice or something, and then put the headphones back on. I did a 1-hour interview on another show that interviewed me, and it was really cool. And I told them about the Death Valley story when I drove alone through Death Valley and that life-changing experience, which was really cool. You can see that on the YouTube channel at Jim Masters TV. The definition and description of that Death Valley trip when I was on that TV shoot and then decided to drive through Death Valley alone, just on a whim, which was really cool. So the interviewer said to me last night, Jim, I want you to have a life-changing story. And it was the Death Valley story. And it was really, really cool. There's a section on the YouTube channel on Jim Masters TV called Masters Mantras. These are these inspirational things I've been doing for years on Facebook, verbally, or actually just by writing it, not verbally, but just writing it. And I've made them verbal through video on our page, on the Jim Masters TV page at YouTube. And there's one where it says that the Death Valley story, or my Death Valley story. You can click on that and you can hear me talk about that story. I know Kathleen was very moved by it. A lot of people seem to be moved by it. They want me to write a book about it. Good to see you, Ann. I hope we can get some cool weather coming your way. Hello, Christopher Baker. Good to see you as well. Merlin is in Innerkip, Ontario, Canada. Good to see you as well. Pamela Perkle in Kansas City. Good to see you as well, Pamela. And Christine Fairwood, still our viewer of the week. You got a few more days. Viewer of the week. Congratulations once again. You're in Connecticut. Renee in Iowa. Renee. Jones Oscom. I never say all three, but this time I'm going to say all three. Mary Bishop. Good to see you, Mary. For the man of radio, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yes, it's National Radio Day, celebrating August 20th, when radio was initially created many, 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 many years ago. So all of us who've worked, I work in television, but have also worked in radio, and all of us who have been on the radio, hosted shows on radio, announce anything to do with radio, we're celebrating here nationally in the United States, National Radio Day. And I made a couple of posts on Facebook at Jim Masters TV as well, showed some pictures from one of my very first radio positions to some more recent ones. And there's so many more pictures I could have posted, but we just threw a few up there. So hello to Marilyn. Good to see you in Wichita, Kansas. And it looks like our guest is having a lot of trouble. He was there and then he disappeared. So he's figuring that out, and we will just keep chatting with our viewers until he's got it all set. All right, we've got more people in here. I love having you guys, and you guys are so fantastic. Jennifer Barry is here. Good to see you, Jennifer. I hope you're going to be zen today. Avril Britton is here. Hi, Jim. Happy Thursday. Sending you all some lovity. Sending it right back to you in Hampshire in the United Kingdom. We love having you in the United Kingdom. Thanks for being with us. You look terrific today, and you got a lot of hearts and flowers and all kinds of cool things. Christine, good to see you in North Carolina. I hope you guys are doing well. I know there's some wacky storms that you guys have dealt with, and damage in the area, all over the place. It seems like the storms and weather have been unbelievable. And there's a couple of tropical storms, hurricane-ish kind of stuff that's floating around in, the South and the Atlantic, and deciding whether it's going to come up the coast or it's going to go in the Gulf. I think there's 2 storms we've been watching on the Weather Channel. So hopefully those things blow away. But for some reason, this is the year of 2020. I don't think they're going to, because in 2020, anything seems to go. Greetings, Jim, and all the Lovedies as well. Linda in Florida. Good evening, Mr. Lovedy. Good evening, all the Lovedies. Good to have you here as well. Sharon, and she's in beautiful Florida. And hopefully any hurricane just misses Florida. Sharon DeMaria in Connecticut. Good to see you as well. Welcome to the show. Nice to have you here. Everybody, what's cool is everybody says hi to each other too, which I think is great. Renee Katz in New York City. Good to see you, Renee. Hi, Jim, and all you delightful Lovedies. That's what everybody's called who watches the show. And you guys, I created the name Lovedy, but you guys sort of said Lovedies. So that's what you are. Yeah. You have a larger picture, huh? Different setup, larger picture. Are you watching on a TV screen or something maybe? No hat today. No hat today. We just wanted to let the hair breathe, just let it breathe once in a while. No hat today. Happy Thursday. Just found out it isn't Friday. You've been too busy at work. Does that happen to you too? I've been rushing the days since March. Not on purpose. I've just been rushing the days, and I don't know why. I think a lot of us want 2020 to sort of speed up maybe. Let's bring Hanukkah and Christmas. Let's get the holidays here. Jennifer Barry says, I know having cold Italian hoagies from Jersey Mike's, sweet Italian wine, Elmo, P.O. Sweet Red. Is that Pinot? And you're in your pajamas. LOL. Sounds real comfy, cozy where you are. And let's see, a couple more. Everybody's toasting. We always show the toasts as well. Again, this is a very viewer interactive show. I think we're going to do a pop-up show soon too, so stay tuned for that. We didn't get a chance to do it last weekend because we were so busy with so much going on. Francis, hello, Jim Masters. Iced tea for you. Good to see you, Francis. Welcome. Jeff Dwoskin, good to see you, my friend Jeff. Corn, grill it right on the grill, unwrapped. You're welcome. All right, ship some east from Michigan, my friend. Yeah, we just had some. You've got green tea. You love corn. You guys love the food comments. Remember when David was talking about pizza last night? Oh, boy. Yeah, still working. So drink. Oh, you're watching us at work. Well, I hope all is going well for you. Cooking the husks. I've heard about that right out of the garden. Absolutely. Jim, okay, I promise I'll give your clown a chance. Think he's wearing green hat and coat. Yes, it's Jimmy. He's a friendly one. He's friendly. Look at his blue feet. He's actually, this is all like porcelain, and he was a childhood toy. And he's friendly. He's a cool one, isn't he? One of our cast of characters. But the Gilligan, having Gilligan on was really cool as well. So everybody's now talking about sweet corn, I noticed. Everybody's... And you tried to get on before 7. No, the only way you can get on is when we go live, which is at 7. So everything kicks in, and then there's a countdown, our new countdown that you see. Then you can get on at 7. If you miss any of the show ever, or you have to step away, no problem. All the shows are archived on YouTube at Jim Masters TV. Yeah, don't you just love all the fun techie stuff? Welcome to the world of the internet. I'm used to the television stations and the radio stations where it's all set up. Gilligan had a great time. Gilligan was small enough to slip right into Jeannie's bottle. So he was in Jeannie's bottle, and George, I think, was pouring the wine, and Jimmy was playing with silver. We could do a whole series just with these cast of characters. We could do a children's show just with that. I think maybe we will. Yes. But if you don't, then there's no way to get on. You have to have a specific private access link to get on. Otherwise, you have nothing. Even I have a link. The excitement and work of live shows, you better believe it. We go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up at 8. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. You're saying hello to Gilligan and to Jimmy and that's it. You got it. Chris watching sometimes the comments move so fast, it jumps. Chris is watching in, yes, we had a great day. It's raining there in Northern Ireland, in the Belfast area and Comber. Good to have you with us, Chris. Scream Queen Army, windy and rainy. Some of that rain you're getting in Northern Ireland, they can use on the West Coast. Maybe somehow everything shifts from west to east. Too bad it couldn't go from east to west for the folks on the West Coast. Gilligan is a perfect addition. With love from Dreama Denver herself. Maggie Perry's music. Doing great, Jim. Fantastic. You're watching on the YouTube channel. Welcome. Good to have you here. You're feeling the need for vodka. That sounds good. Let's put some in my orange juice. Hope you're having a healthy and safe day these days. Hope you're keeping healthy and safe. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're doing a lot of walking around the coast and keeping fit, which is really important. You're always zen. That's fantastic. Francis, just starting to forget them the days it's weird. Yeah, I know. Good to see you as well. Good to see you too. And a couple more. I love driving next to a cornfield, sticking my head out the window and smell sweet corn. The best. What's unfortunate in Iowa, some of the cornfields were destroyed, or the corn stalks, because of the is it the Dorico, I guess they call it? Dorico. I've heard 50 different pronunciations. The wind whipped through and knocked a lot of the corn stalks down. Hopefully they'll be able to retrieve the actual corn itself if it's matured enough. They're trying to find that out, but good stuff. Yes, rain needed in Iowa, just no inland hurricanes. That's incredible. We want to mention too, as I mentioned at the top of the show, it is National Radio Day across the country. So those of us who work in the broadcast media and who've had opportunities working on radio, we're celebrating National Radio Day. And the stations I've had an opportunity to work on the air for and hosting: WXBA FM, Long Island, New York; WCWP FM, Long Island, New York. Let's see, WLIX, Long Island, New York. And this goes back, this was one of my first professional radio jobs. This is WLIX AM, Long Island, New York, which is just outside New York City. And I was on the air as a host, announcer, assistant production manager, voiceover artist, news announcer, show hosts, and just about everything. And that was a lot of fun. That was really, really cool to have that opportunity to do that. So there we are. It's WLIX AM, one of my first professional radio jobs as we celebrate National Radio Day. Happy National Radio Day to all my fellow broadcasters that are out there. I've been lucky. I've had an opportunity to have careers in radio and television. Some people just do radio. Some people do television. I've always been able to work in both. This was at News Talk 960 WELI. This is in New Haven, Connecticut, and I hosted and produced a popular show for 18 years on this station, a legendary station in Connecticut, and a very popular call-in talk show. And also it was a shopping show as well, where people called in and it was kind of like Home Shopping Network a little bit too. We had all kinds of great trips and restaurants and goods and services and dinner certificates and all kinds of great things that we had an opportunity to offer to our listeners at 50 to 80% off years before Groupon ever came along. So hosted that show for 18 years on iHeartRadio. It's an iHeartRadio station, and also did a lot of other things, did election night coverage, voiceovers, a whole bunch of different things on that station. So was on that station for 18 years on iHeartRadio, hosting that show, and that was a lot of fun. And also was on WQUN, this one is WGAN in Portland, Maine. WGCH in Greenwich, Connecticut. Again, another shot at WELI, iHeartRadio in Connecticut. This was cool when we had Cub Scouts coming in visit for the day. When I was on the air, they were coming through. You know how sometimes they do tours at the stations? They were touring, and that was really cool. Also was on WLNA radio in Peekskill, New York, hosting, and also, let's see, what else? WNLC, New London, Connecticut, WTYD-FM in New London, Connecticut, as a host for several years. I was the midday announcer, the news anchor, and also hosted shows. Then on WNLC in New London, Connecticut, I was hosting a shopping show, a talk show, sports, voiceovers, and then also had appearances on WQUN radio in Hamden and New Haven, Connecticut. That station has sadly closed. That station was owned by Quinnipiac University, and the university decided to end the station. This was a guest appearance I made on the station. It was a wonderful station in Connecticut, and it was part of the Quinnipiac University group. And this is an appearance on WATR in Waterbury, Connecticut, the legendary station as well. So as we celebrate National Radio Day, these are just some of the wonderful times I've had working on radio over the years, various radio stations in various cities and various markets, AM, FM stations as well. And this going back to the very beginning with WLIX. I was on 2 radio stations before, one in high school, one in college. And then this is actually the first professional radio job in New York on Long Island at WLIX. So we say happy National Radio Day to all fellow broadcasters, as well as all the faithful listeners over the years too. And I've met so many people over the years with my years on radio. Also, I currently work on Close Up Talk Radio as well. And I do daily radio shows on Close Up Radio, and also television news magazine shoots and hosting for Close Up Television, which is out of New York. And my co-host is Doug Llewellyn from the People's Court. He is my co-host. So celebrating National Radio Day across the country. And thank you very much, Merlin. I appreciate that. I knew you'd say that, Willie. My hair changes with the wind. Thank you for the comments. Appreciate that. Happy National Radio Day to you. Thank you very much. So many comments. This thing's jumped so fast. Cool pictures. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. Yes, you go for your glass of wine. Toast with us. Yes, you toast with us. Absolutely. Happy National Radio Day. Terrific photos. Pre-Lovity days. Yes. Way before Lovity. Although we were always doing Lovity on the air anyway, on television and radio, and still do. Good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for all the comments. Nope, I didn't work for WKRP in Cincinnati, but I know people who did. Lonnie Anderson. All right. Do you hear everything we say from where we are listening? I don't hear you guys. I see your comments. Thank you very much, Ann. We appreciate that in SoCal. All right. Thanks for all these great comments. Listen on the beach sometimes. WLIS, that's Old Saybrook, Connecticut. Yes, I was on the air there too as a guest. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right, gang. We have a very special guest all set up from New Jersey, as I've been mentioning and teasing a little bit here. He is an amazing psychic medium. He's a healer. He's a speaker. He's an author as well. It was great greeting all the guests. I keep saying guests. It was great greeting all the viewers. I think tomorrow I'm not going to talk all day until I do the show. Tomorrow we have Jack O'Halloran on, legendary actor and former boxer. He's coming on tomorrow. This is Artie Hoffman. He's been a master level psychic medium and spiritual advisor for over 2 decades, and he's helped change the lives of thousands of individuals who have turned to him for answers and for guidance. Now, his strong faith and natural intuitiveness, coupled with his ability to provide emotional understanding, make him the preeminent spiritual therapist with foresight. A nationally renowned speaker, healer, Artie's radio show as well, so we'll celebrate National Radio Day together. Angels and Answers gives listeners a chance to connect with him from anywhere in the U.S. People call in to discuss a variety of topics from love and relationships, career and finances, family life, to communicating with their deceased loved ones as well. Artie has performed spiritual shows throughout the United States, in Atlantic City numerous times, pleasing his audience, and he was booked to perform at the Palace of Versailles in France. Of course, then COVID came. His seminars and workshops are always well attended, drawing a large number of people wanting to gain insight and advice and to help better themselves. His clients have included some of the top personalities in movie and music and television industries, as well as sports figures and athletes, prominent political figures. Artie conducts his one-on-one private readings at his office or over the phone. And I'm sure these days, a lot of over the phone, as well as doing group parties and generally corporate events around the country. He continues to hone his ability to help those discover their essential selves so that they can make healthy and positive changes in their lives. He also offers psychic development classes to foster the early stages of a budding psychic's path. Artie teaches his pupils to let go of fear, trust in one's gut instinct, and learn how to tap into your higher self. A native Jersey guy born on the 4th of July with chutzpah, compassion, and humor, Artie Hoffman truly is the hottest psychic with the warmest heart, also known as Artie Hoffman, a Jew with a clue. So we're excited. He's got a sense of humor too, which is great. We all need a sense of humor these days, don't we? So we're going to welcome my very, very special guest, Artie Hoffman. It's a pleasure to have him here, and we appreciate him taking time to join us here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show Live. And thanks to everybody. Comments already pouring in. We appreciate that. Let's welcome him to the show. Artie, welcome. Good to see you. How are you doing? How's everything going?
Oh,
can you hear me?
Great. I've been keeping really busy.
Have you?
Yeah, everything. Yeah, everything. Even though with the COVID, it's like the phones have been ringing off the hook. And it's been, I wasn't expecting to get many calls because of circumstances and stuff, but it actually turned out to be the opposite. So, but you're so hired as my publicist. That was a beautiful introduction.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We do our research. We do our digging here at the show. Are you on a phone? Are you doing, we hear a little bit of a feedback thing, but it might be the phone. Do you have any other apps or anything, screens, apps or anything open on that phone at all? Because sometimes that creates that clicking
yeah,
and...
I've never had this before on the phone. How's that?
Let's see, a little bit better. Yeah. Were you near electronics? Oh, there it is again. It happens on phones. It happens on phones. Do you have an iPhone? Is that an iPhone? It happens on iPhones. Yeah. It's an iPhone thing. It's for some reason it's iPhones, not Android. I don't know why, or laptops or tablets or PCs, but we've got you there. I mean, unless you want to, do you want to switch? Yeah, it's a thing with the iPhone.
Yeah, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to my computer.
You want to switch to the computer? So do you want to leave that on and chat while you do that, or you want to go away and I'll chat with the viewers and then we'll have you come back?
Yeah, I'm going to come back in about 2 minutes.
You got it. We'll be here. We'll see. Because right now it's sort of like an underwater sound, like we're underwater or something.
Yeah, I get it. It's never happened before.
Technology is amazing, isn't it?
I know. It really is.
The beloved, it's not like being in a radio station or a TV station, you know, where everything's all just perfectly ready to go. The internet is funky.
All right, we'll get it going.
See you soon. You got it. All right. All right. We'll see you on the PC. All right. So there's just a little teaser for you. There is an issue with iPhones for some reason. When I know a couple people in the past have said, oh, there's clicking and there's different noises. It seems we have deduced in talking with the streaming service and the technical people that there's some reason why iPhones just aren't it. So we recommend tablets, PCs, Android works, but that's the way it works. I will show him all the welcomes that you have here once he's back on. He's going to get himself set up back on, and everybody is, well, a lot of great comments here. Isn't it ironic that your show is mentioned on WJR National Radio, the Paul W. Smith Show, 760 Detroit? Christopher, I want to know how that happened. Did you mention it? Did you mention the Jim Masters Show live? How did that happen? Did you call into WJR in Detroit and mention this show? Because if you did, I really appreciate that. That's a beautiful thing that you did. I'd love to know, and I wish I could hear it. Maybe it's archived because, I'm a TV radio guy, so I love stuff like that. WJR 760 Detroit. Here on the East Coast, late at night, we can get that station, usually on an AM radio or in your car, because at night, the AM stations, when the sun sets, that's just a thing. AM stations travel even further. Their signals travel even further at night. So you can get all kinds of stations from all over the place. Good to see you as well, Jerry Castaldo, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope your dad is doing well and things are good on your end. And again, let me know about WJR and the fact that our show was mentioned. I was on a radio show podcast last night, I mentioned, which was really, really cool. Thank God, because I sang the other night when America's Got Talent was on, and I was listening to also. Did you see the episode just a couple of nights ago when we had Landau Eugene Murphy Jr. on? He was winner of America's Got Talent season 6. And he was a guest, and we chatted for almost 3 hours, and it was absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. You can go back and see all the episodes archived at Jim Masters TV. Want to tell you, while we're here, while we have a little time, tomorrow night we've got an amazing guest, actor Jack O'Halloran. He is a legendary actor. He was in Superman, Superman 2, and countless movies. Also a former professional heavyweight boxer as well. He's going to be on tomorrow. Saturday, Suze Lanier, brilliant actress, is going to be with us. And she was in the movie Hills Have Eyes. The Hills Have Eyes. She was on Welcome Back, Kotter. She was on Three's Company. A ton of movies and television shows. And on Sunday, my dear friend, Ryan Kelly from Celtic Thunder. He's also in the group Kelly and Byrne, or Byrne and Kelly. And that is Neil Byrne from Celtic Thunder and Ryan Kelly. They formed sort of their own duet and duo group. They're really, really good. They've toured the world as well. He is most notable for his years with Celtic Thunder, which he is still with, but he has a brilliant solo career too. I've interviewed him many, many times on PBS over the years, probably ever since the creation of Celtic Thunder. I've interviewed Ryan and Damien and Keith and Colm and you name it. All of them, every member of Celtic Thunder multiple times. And the terrific guys in Celtic Thunder are still very popular. They're not touring now because of everything being closed. They're not touring, I think, till the fall of 2021. If you missed the interview we did with Damien McGinty, also from Celtic Thunder and from Glee on Fox and his brilliant solo career, we did a great, great conversation. And when you go to the YouTube channel and you go to Jim Masters TV, you can see the interview with Damien McGinty. Also one with Chloe Agnew from Celtic Woman as well. And so Ryan is going to be with me exclusively this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be midnight for him in Ireland. But, we've known each other for years. He's all excited. They've been promoting it everywhere on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, and you name it. We appreciate that, he and his team. And he's going to be here live on Sunday. So that's going to be really cool. So amazing guests coming up. So we're going to get ready to welcome our very special guests once again, Artie Hoffman here on the show. And I think he's all set up and ready to go. Welcome back.
How's it going? You want to know something? My computer was like running super, super, super slow. And I was just praying. I said, you know what? Let me just try this phone again. And it's working normally. So.
Great. That's perfect. And yeah, I don't hear the clicking anymore. Did you
It's never
adjust
happened.
something?
It's never happened before, ever. That's the
Did,
first time it's ever happened. It's crazy.
you're the psychic medium. What did that happen?
I don't know. Some things are not meant to be, I guess. It's like, now
Technology.
that I'm on, thanks for having me on, folks.
That was a pleasure. It's good to see you. Great shirt. You're looking good. Well
Thank you.
rested.
Thank you.
We've got some nice comments coming in here. Crystal in Connecticut says, "Hi, Artie. Welcome to the show." Renee in Iowa says, "Welcome, Artie." And Merlin in Canada, "Hi, Artie. Welcome." Christine Fairwood
I want
says,
to share
"Hi."
with you. I want to share with you a very important story that happened. I know, the show's only a few more minutes, but I want to share
Oh,
with.
no, we have time. No, we have
Oh,
time.
okay.
Yeah, we have plenty of time.
All right. So I just wanted people to know. People ask me what was the most. I've literally read for over 32,000 people in my career. No exaggeration.
I
And
know.
I would say that the number one. There is actually one reading that sticks out amongst all other readings. There was a gentleman who called me in the 11th hour, and he said to me, he says, "Art," he goes, "I'm really going through some hard times. Can I come in and see you?" He goes, "I'm not doing well at all." And I said, "Sure." And I had him come into my place the following day. So when he came in, he hardly said a word, but instantly I started talking about his life, and I started to explain to him how life itself works behind the scenes. And so, he had a very depressed looking way about him, because he was hurting really bad. So I don't know why I say what I say when I first start talking to people at times. I mean, I understand why I say it, but it just goes off right from the get go. I get these spiritual messages instantly taking over a conversation in my thoughts. So I started to explain to him the meaning of his life and the purpose of his life. And I explained to him the meaning of life itself and how things are going to be better for him. After I got finished explaining to him for an hour about his life and about life itself, and he hardly said a word. I was just talking. I sounded like Dr. Phil in that session. And people do call me their psychic therapist, by the way. So anyway, after the session was over, he had like tears in his eyes, and he gave me a big hug, and he said to me, he says, "Art, you're a lifesaver." He goes, "Thank you very much." He said, "You really saved my life." A lot of people say I'm a lifesaver. It's just a common expression. I said, "Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to do it." He goes, "No, you don't understand." He goes, "You really saved my life." He goes, tomorrow morning I was going to commit suicide. I wrote a suicide letter and everything." He goes, "And now after speaking with you," he goes, "I don't want to do it anymore." So that was the biggest number one reading I've ever done in my life.
That is
And
absolutely amazing. And thanks for sharing that. You see what Francis writes here? "I now have psychic visions. They scare me because it is new to me. Many people are afraid of this new me. A few have accepted it finally." Can you
the bottom,
relate to
well,
what she's talking about there? Yeah.
yeah, when I first started doing my psychic work and stuff like that, my family, I was raised in a Jewish family, and they were like, so like, "All right, what's Artie into now?" Or like, "Yeah, Artie knows what he's doing." Yeah, right, being sarcastic. And and
When
I've
did
been
you
helping
first,
them.
when did you realize, how old were you when you first realized you had this incredible ability and this gift?
Yeah, it was my 27th birthday, and I asked my mom. I said, "What's in that box?" And she goes, "It's your gift." Ever since then, I had the gift. I'm just kidding.
No, it's, but
No, so no, I got a postcard in the mail, and in my junk mail, and I just happened to be shifting through it because I usually just throw all that stuff away. I have no patience for that. But for whatever reason, I was sifting through it, and there was a postcard on there, and it said, "How would you like to develop your psychic ability and intuitiveness for this one weekend seminar? Come to the Edgar Casey Foundation for this, like I said, for this one weekend seminar." So I'm looking at it, and I asked my wife, who was my wife at the time. I said, "Oh, this looks interesting." I says, "You want to give this a shot?" I said, "It looks interesting." She says, "I don't give a crap about that." She goes, "You can go if you want. I don't care." So I didn't go there and I did end up going there. I didn't go there thinking like it was the answer to my prayers. I felt like, it was just something fun to do. And I figure either you had it or you didn't. I didn't know you could learn how to do it. And I went there for the weekend, and there was 50 of us in this large room from all different parts of the country. And it was quite interesting. And they taught you how to open up your heart and mind to be 100% unconditional with your thoughts. And so they broke us up into groups, and they said, whoever you're with, no matter what your thoughts are, just share it with the other person. Don't judge it. Just share it. Even if they don't understand it, still share your gut instincts. And so I was telling people my thoughts and my feelings, and people were telling me how accurate I was, as people were doing back to me. And I was like blown out of the water that something like this exists, that I was actually capable of being with a stranger and telling them things about themselves that I've never known before. And it's all about trust and about listening to the voices in your head. And, you know, when, unfortunately for this other girl who says, I'm afraid I have this gift, people think I'm crazy, it's fear. Let me tell you something. When you're living with pure love in your heart, and when you're living according to your gut instincts, you have to follow what feels right for you. It might not work for your friends. It might not work for your partner in life. It might not work for your family or whoever. But the bottom line is, if they're not on the same page as you, you shouldn't have to worry whether they think you're crazy or not. As a matter of fact, one of my ex-girlfriends once said to me, in the way that I was speaking, and she looked at me like jokingly, playfully, and she goes, "You live in Artie's world." And I said, I really like that. I do live in Artie's world. And guess what? It's beautiful in my world. And whether people get me or not, I really don't give a crap, because um, I do beautiful work for people, and I do God's work, and the angels speak to me, and loved ones who have passed away speak to me. And whether people could appreciate me or for what I'm saying or not, I know what the truth is, and I share it. Now, most people do acknowledge and appreciate who I am and what I do. But there are those few that are skeptics, or, oh my God, it's against my religion, or it's against God. And no, it's not, because that's where I'm getting all the answers. So for what I do for a living, all right, it's not so much as the actions, it's what your intentions are behind
Hmm.
your actions that makes something right
Right.
or wrong. So if you're doing anything with the pure good intentions, then it's the right reason. And if other people can't appreciate it, or they want to throw their biblical thoughts into it, or how they were raised, fine. That's your limited way of thinking. But the bottom line is, if you're saying what I do is the devil's work, then I need to shake his hands and thank him, because he's helped me save thousands of lives, emotionally and or physically. And it's a blessing to be put in this position. And when people tell me, Art, thank you so much for this and thank you so much for that, and I tell them, I'm happy that they're happy, but I know that it's really not all me. It's mostly the angels and the blessings of the Holy Spirit, because they're the ones who shine their love and their images and their wisdom with me, and I share with what they give to me, and I just share it lovingly with open arms, open hands. So I feel very blessed to be put in my position, but I worked at it, and I've learned to develop it through meditation. And the more you do anything in life, I don't care if you're a teacher, electrician, a plumber, whatever it is you're doing, a therapist, if you keep on, or a sport or a hobby, if you keep on doing something over and over and over again, you're going to become better at it. And it's not that I'm better than anybody else because I have an understanding with the spiritual world. I'm not better than anyone else. And it's not that God chose to speak to me, because God speaks to everyone. It's just who chooses to listen. So follow your gut instincts, and you'll be right more times than wrong.
There is a couple of people who have asked a few questions here. One of them was an interesting one, and it looks like it's from, I think, Merlin. Uh, do you see spirits?
I feel spirits more than I see spirits. Angels have literally appeared themselves in front of me. And when I drive at night, while you know how you could see the bright lights of a car,
Yes.
I see purple lights all over the place, and that's the angels letting me know that they're around me. So I see spirit, or I feel spirit. I see spirit in light, and I feel spirit within my feelings and within the images of my thoughts. Do I see them in a physical silhouette or anything like that? No, but at times, depending on how strong the spirit is, they'll show me an image of themselves that I could see it. Um, but physical angels have physically made themselves appear in front of me as a person, And I'm going to explain to you a very beautiful moment that happened to me. One time, now I'm not saying this to brag at all. All right. So don't take it like that. I'm not meaning, I'm doing it simply for the story. So I'm in New York City, and I decided to dedicate one day to hand food like muffins, corn muffins I got from Costco, um, uh, corn muffins, and bottles of water, and I was handing out $5 and $10 bills all day. And so I'm walking around the streets of New York, and it's not too hard to find homeless people, especially around Central Park. And I'm handing it out. I'm having a lot of beautiful moments that happen with certain people. Of course, people are blessing me and blessing me. At the end of the day, I start walking home towards Penn Station, the train to get back home to Jersey. And so as I'm getting closer to the train station, I'm getting really tired. I mean, really tired. And I'm having a little conversation with God. And I said, do I really make a difference, or am I just giving away money and just wasting time? Am I really making a difference? And so there was this homeless person, sitting on the stoop with his dog. And it said, I have AIDS, I have this, I'm homeless. Can you please help me? And so I stopped and I gave him a muffin, I gave him water, and I gave him, I think, $5 or $10. I forgot what it was. And so after I did that for him, I walked away, started going to the train station, and no more than 20 seconds to 30 seconds later, a very handsome black guy came up to me, very well dressed, and he said to me, "Excuse me, sir, I just saw what you did for that man." And he said to me, he goes, "You really do make a difference." He says, "You touch my heart. You really do make a difference." I just asked God a minute ago, do I really make a difference? And then here, this guy, very well dressed, comes up to me and says, "Sir, I just want you to know you really make a difference." So about 15 seconds later, as I'm walking and he goes his way, I turned around because I wanted to talk to that gentleman again, and he was gone. He was gone. It was long city blocks, and even around the turn, there was nowhere for him to go. He just was gone. And that was an angel.
That's very moving. I mean, when that happens to you, and I'm sure things like that happen multiple times, how do you react? How are you not consumed and overwhelmed by it, Artie?
No, that's just it. Like I said, I mean, I even had a pause to tell you that story
Yeah.
because again, it's God. Thank you for putting me in such a beautiful position. Now, when other people, now there's a balance to everything. I did that because I could afford to do that. All right. Now, a lot of people give so much of themselves, too much of themselves to everyone else, and they complain they don't have enough money, or they don't have enough resources because they gave away more to the public, to their friends or their family. They gave away more than what they could afford to give away. And so that's not, it's a blessing, but it's not a blessing. If you're doing something to help somebody, but you're hurting yourself, then what's the sense? You do not give away money that you personally need to pay your own bills or for you to have food. I mean, yes, kudos to you. You want to help out other people. That's wonderful. But you always have to take care of yourself first. Anything that's left over in money or resources or time, whatever, anything that's left over, if you want to share a percentage of that with other people or the public, by all means, go ahead. But you do not take away the quality of your life to try to help somebody else out where it's setting you way behind the eight ball. You're doing yourself an injustice. And I'm all about helping out people, but also know your boundaries and limitations. And a lot of people, too many people, complain they don't have enough money. They don't have enough money because they give so much away because they feel sorry for everybody else. And they end up disrespecting themselves. And they go, "Artie, why are so many people, why am I being disrespected? I'm so nice to everybody and they're not there for me." Because you do not create boundaries and you are not respecting yourself. So when you're not respecting yourself, other people are not respecting you. And then appreciation from other people turns into entitlement. And then you're
Then you're
screwed.
trapped. Then you're
Then
yeah.
you're
And
trapped.
it's
You're trapped in the same fox trenches that they're in. And God didn't put you in that position to be there. That was not meant for you to be there. But a lot of people put themselves in the same trenches. So I try to look at myself, as I explain to people, I look at myself as an eagle. You might be in your fox trenches or in the ox trench, whatever, and you're going through those hard times. I cannot be the best who I am by being in the trenches with you. So what I am is I'll be the eagle that will fly above you, that will guide you and give you direction while you're in your maze or while you're in your trenches. I will give you directions, or I will feed you in the way that I could feed you. But I cannot help you if I'm putting myself in the same position you're in. So do yourself a favor and don't put yourself in the same position as everybody else, because then you're doing yourself an injustice. So you got to create boundaries. And a lot of times people mistake kindness for weakness.
And that's, I've said that, right? Exactly. I've told that, I've posted that, I've told people, kindness is not weakness. It's strength. It's definitely strength.
When you could say, I love you to people, that's also strength. Because I say I love you very easily to people. I really do, but I mean it from my heart.
Right. So you don't just say it. So many people just say, love you, love you, love you, and they don't really mean it. Right.
Yeah. So there are times when I say, I love you, or after a time. And so one girl actually challenged me. They said, Art, you just met me. How do you know you love me? I said, of course I love you, because you're a person. You're a people. I said, I don't know if I like you, but I love you.
That's the difference. Right. There's a lot of relationships like that too, where they love each other, but they don't like each other.
I don't like you. I love you, but I don't like you. I said, it's a lot like ice cream. I love ice cream, but I don't like all flavors.
It's amazing what you're talking about as far as giving yourself that attention. It leads so perfectly into the story that I have shared, which was driving alone through Death Valley, which was really amazing. And that came after I was on a TV shoot in Las Vegas. And when I was in the TV shoot in Las Vegas, we wrapped up this shoot, which was in Pahrump, Nevada. And the rent-a-car that I was in, after the shoot wrapped, the crew went back to Los Angeles. We wrapped the shoot. I still had like 3/4 of a day left before I had to fly back east to the East Coast. So I had the rental car and I was driving all through Pahrump, Nevada. Never heard of it before. An hour west of Vegas, desert town, cool place. Every time I was driving around with the rental car after the shoot, going on a visual journey, some very visual, and seeing all the sights of this desert town in Nevada in August when it was like 110 degrees, my car kept bringing me to, now of course I was driving the car, but something was bringing me to the entrance of Death Valley constantly bringing me to the entrance of Death Valley. And I couldn't figure it out. And for me, I'm like, Death Valley, I mean, God, you see that in movies, you see that on television. It's this ominous, monumental place. It's this road that goes on forever, lonely, hot, desert, raw, nothing there but raw earth, nature, wild weather, heat, the whole thing, rugged, risky, all those things. People have died driving.
Wait. So did you stop yourself and look up and say, so God, what's the purpose of this?
No, here's what
why
happened.
Is there not vegetation, or why am I in tundra?
Why am I right? Exactly. Well, I discovered that as I went in. At first, because I kept being brought to that sign, which is basically just a sign that says Death Valley and an arrow and a road. It's not like an amusement park where there's all this great stuff, entrances and cotton candy and clowns. So I say, what the heck? Which I wouldn't have normally done. I normally would have said, first of all, I'm in the car alone. It's a rental car. This car hasn't been checked out. All I know is the make and model. I don't know if, fan belt's going to break. It's going to overheat. I don't have the charged cell phone, food. Nobody knows I'm doing this. It's August and it's Death Valley. So all the things that you shouldn't do were right in front of me. And something pushed me in and I started driving into Death Valley. And when I started driving into Death Valley, I felt extreme guilt, which ties into what you're talking about. And the guilt was the fact that I wasn't sharing that clicking is annoying. That monumental, I placed Death Valley as this monumental experience that had to be shared with others because I'm very communal. I love sharing things together with people. I love being in a movie theater where we're all feeling the experience and the emotions concurrently at the same time. You know, you see the Titanic sink and everybody feels the depth of the loss all at the same time in the movie theater. This was completely me. Nobody else was in the car. So I said to myself as I was driving in, I said, you know what, maybe I should turn this car back and I'll come back to Death Valley because I had it on a pedestal like Grand Canyon and, you know, Statue of Liberty, other Eiffel Tower, whatever, a grand place. You don't just go in and just do it. Wait to do it with family and loved ones and friends. So as I was driving in, I had this extreme guilt that I was experiencing the visual beauty, the rawness of it, the risk of it, all of it, with nobody else in the car because I just wrapped a TV shoot and the crew went to LA because they had a film gig in the morning and we were done. I was just passing time till the flight left out of Vegas back east. So it was really cool because the guilt was very strong. I felt selfish that I was experiencing all of this myself without others in the car to hear the giggling, the laughing, the joy. Wow, ooh, look at that. I like to be the facilitator of that. I like to be the one who creates that. Yeah, it's the clicking. I know Kathleen's saying it's the audio. That's coming from the iPhone, but it's just a connection thing. So you just have to listen closely. So what was interesting about it, I'll shorten it up because it's a long story. The guilt that I was feeling was that I wasn't sharing this incredible, beautiful experience with other people. And I felt three energies. I felt the energy of the earth because it was so raw and barren and stripped, and it was this physical raw earth, which was the disc. I felt a strong connection with Mother Nature as well, which was amazing. Sounds like somebody's making popcorn. This cooking. The strong connection with nature was really, really evident. And see when I don't talk, you don't have the clicking. So anyway, energy of the earth, energy of nature, and a divine. I felt an energy of a divine above me guiding me into Death Valley. So I felt these three powerful energies that were there, giving me an option to say, well, you know, you're putting Death Valley on a monumental pedestal. Perhaps maybe you should turn back, or you could stay and go on this road that leads to who knows where, with all the danger, all the risk. Nobody even knows you're doing it. You haven't told anybody. You're in a rental car. Who knows what happens to the car? You have the supplies, the water. You don't have any of that. So it was amazing.
So you could literally tell people you've been to hell and back.
That's what basically, yeah, absolutely. So I'm driving through and I decide to keep going. And as I keep going, guilt of not having the loved ones and friends in the car it was a burden being lifted. It was subsiding because I was understanding this was an experience that was meant just for me. And that is okay, that it's an experience meant just for me. It didn't have to be a shared experience. It doesn't make it better always when it's a shared experience. So I drove all the way through, drove all the way back. People say, what did you get out of doing that? And I said, three major things. Number one, I realized there'll be experiences that I'm going to experience in my life where I'm the only one in the room. And instead of waiting to experience it when I have others with me so we can share in the glory and energy of it, it's an experience that is a gift that was meant just for you. So take it, soak it up, and live it. So I did that. The second thing was that the world will continue to spin on its axis, whether I rescue it all the time, put out all its fires and run to everybody's aid and give them the last dollar and do all those things that I've always been known for doing. And the world will still spin whether I do that or not. And the third, when I'm in an airplane and the flight attendant says the oxygen mask will drop if we lose pressurization and you need oxygen, put the mask on you first before you help
Exactly.
the other person. I was always of the ilk, the thought process, and always raised feel help thy fellow man. So my first desire is to want to make sure he or she is safe, happy, good, cared for, got what they need. Then I'll do me. Coming out of Death Valley and having done that risky, unplanned situation, um, got me to realize that I had to create boundaries. Couldn't always say yes. Couldn't always jump. If I have a fire that I have to put out, I can't always run to put their fire out first. I got to tend to mine first, then I'll come with the hose to yours. I will come. I'll always come. But, sorry, Willie, that the crackling is causing you to go away, but that's technology. So good night, go to bed. You need sleep. So what was really cool about this was the fact that I've created those boundaries now. And I thought by creating the boundaries, that might cause some people to go away. It didn't. If anything, it brought all this new energy. People are like, you know what? We've been waiting for you to create those darn boundaries for years. You should have created boundaries years ago. And it was a cool thing.
Boundaries are very important to oneself. And, as I'm listening to you, I'm hearing, I get beautiful thoughts and post messages, like I post up messages on my Instagram and my website, artiehoffman.com, but, or my Instagram, Artie Hoffman. And happiness, you'll know true happiness when you're happy within yourself and not making other people responsible for your happiness. True happiness is when you could be by yourself and feel the sense of happiness. Not that anyone wants to be by themselves all the time. Nobody wants to be by themselves all the time. Um, well, maybe there might be a few out there, the few percentage, but on the most part, yeah, you'll find true happiness when you can be on your own and find happiness within inside yourself, or having a relationship with your angels or your spirit guides or the Holy Spirit, and feeling comfortable, and you share the love and the happiness that you have with others, and to brighten up other people's lives, or to share beautiful thoughts or wisdom with other people. When you make a difference in other people's lives, I find that to be the most rewarding and fulfilling thing of all. Um, and like I said, it's a blessing, and I just feel blessed that I could, make a living in that position. So, that was a wonderful story that you told. And, but yeah, some precious and beautiful moments are meant just for you to have, and not for you to share that with everybody else. It's just for you to experience. Because sometimes when you are too consumed with loud music, too consumed with other people, you're not really, it's a distraction from your own self within inside a lot of times. So a lot of people, too many people really have a hard time feeling comfortable in their own skin and feeling happy within inside themselves. So they need the distraction. I need to hear music, or I need to be in a relationship, or I need to be, yeah, it's great when you're in a healthy relationship, not a relationship that's abusive, just to be in a relationship. And a lot of people choose to be in a relationship that's abusive because they're so deathly afraid of being alone, not realizing being alone is, you're going to find out a lot more about yourself, and you're going to grow, and your character is going to grow, and you'll be a happier, stronger person that way. But so many people are afraid of the unknown that they choose to grow comfortable in the uncomfortableness of their life choices. And that's not healthy. It's not
That's
healthy.
right. Yeah, it's amazing what you really learn. It's really incredible. And it's a cool thing as well. It really, really is. There's some questions coming in here. I want to get to if you have any questions, folks, feel free to throw them in. There's a really cool one. Have you ever read a family member sense something not right, if you know what I mean? One of your own family members.
Wait, have I ever read a family member?
Yeah.
What?
And sense something not right. We have it up on the screen there.
Oh, yeah, I can't see. My eyesight sucks.
So it says, have you, it's from Linda in Florida. She says, have you ever read a family member sense something not right, if you know what I mean?
100% yes. 100% yes.
Somebody else?
But you also have to understand, just because I have knowledge doesn't mean I'm going to share it with the other person. Like when I do readings, I never tell people when they're going to die. Unless if somebody's already on their deathbed and you're taking care of them and you want to know how much longer, that's different. But basically when you're 20, 30, 50, 60, whatever, and, you have no health ailments, I'm not going to predict anyone's death. That serves no purpose whatsoever. And I feel like anybody who does a reading for you who predicts your death or tells you, I think that's horrible. And I don't feel like they're a good reader or they're compassionate. If I see, I just won't do that. Do I tell bad news to people? If I tell hard news to people, I'll get answers on how to overcome people's circumstances. And, it's like if I'm doing a reading for somebody, if I see if I feel like the person's being cheated on or whatnot, it doesn't mean that they're emotionally ready to hear that. And nor would I share that with somebody. If somebody asked me, what do you see for my relationship? And once they ask me that, and if I see that, then yes, I'm going to tell them because they're asking me. But I'm not going to drop really bad, hard news on someone if I feel like it's not going to serve a purpose. Now, I'm not just filled with just great news, but the good news is that when I do share hard news, I will tell you how to gain back your power or how to perceive the situation or the person so that you could deal with it in the best way that you know how to deal with it. And that's my greatest gift in all my readings, is that I give people information to give people back their power. That's what I'd do if I was president.
That's it. You still have time. November is coming quick. Throw your name in the hat. Somebody had asked something to the effect, oh, here it is. This is from Christine Fairwood in Connecticut. Again, if you're hearing the clicking, folks, when our guest uses an iPhone, and we have deduced this, it creates a clicking in the audio, and it's only when an iPhone is used for whatever reason. Who knows? That's technology. When you do readings, do you tell people when something bad is going to happen?
You know what? I have a really interesting story with that. So a lady comes into my place, and when she walked into my place, she said, Artie, I've been thinking about you every single day for 2 years. And I'm like kind of flattered, not in a sexual way, but I was flattered. And I said, okay. I said, so why were you thinking about me for the last 2 years? And so she said, you did a reading for me here 2 years ago, and we were sitting in your kitchen. And the moment you held my hand, you started hearing a song in your head, and you started singing, Highway to Hell. I'm going to Highway to Hell by AC/DC. And so when I was hearing that song and I was singing that song to her, I looked at her right in her eyes. I said, you're doing something right now you should not be doing. And if you keep on doing it, you're going to get caught soon and you're going to get put in jail. I said, you're going to get caught and you're going to be put in jail. I said, stop doing what you're not supposed to be doing. And she goes, a week later, I did something that I was not supposed to be doing. And I got caught and I was thrown in jail for 2 years. And every day I woke up and I said, why didn't I listen to Artie? Why didn't I listen to Artie? So yes, so there are things that I see to help people get out of a hairy situation, whether it be something like that, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a financial circumstance about an investment, or should I trust this person or not trust this person. So I'm giving answers beforehand. Now, there are times where I do readings for people, or I'm at a party, because I do what's known as Artie parties, where I go to people's homes and I read for them. So there are times where I read for people, and people say to me, like, Artie, I got in a car accident, a couple of days after the reading. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you save me? I said, well, then you were meant to go through it. I can't protect you for everything. There's a reason why things happen the way they do. But have I seen car accidents before they happen? Absolutely. And I told people, it's going to be at a major intersection. It's going to happen towards the end of the afternoon, because I see the sunlight going down. And I said, it's a very busy intersection. And I said, as you're turning left, as you're crossing the main road, I said, you need to really play defense for the next month or two, because I see a potential accident, because it's not your fault, but someone's blowing by a yellow turning into a red light. And I said, so really play defense. So I said, no news is good news. So if I don't hear anything, that's good news. That means they listened to what I had to say. And that's what you want. You don't want anything to happen, because I gave you information so you don't have to experience that. And then there are people who will ask me about their relationships and say, Art, should I stay with him or should I go? Should I go with the other guy, or should I do this? Should I do this? We go for marriage counseling? Will that work? And I said, well, if you do this, this is what's going to happen. If you do that, that's what's going to happen. If you go over here, that's what's going to happen. If you go over there, that's what's going to happen. All right, well, what do you see me doing? I said, I could tell you what I would do if I was in your position. I said, but this is your free will and choice. I told you what to expect based on your choices. But a lot of times when emotions are high, even though you're getting really good advice, when emotions are high, intelligence and smarts goes right out the window, because emotions always rule. And if you want someone or something bad enough, it's going to happen if that's what you want. But if you're smart enough and you pay attention to your gut instincts where something is not right, then you follow your gut instincts. So that's that's what I tell people. Certain things are written in stone. Come hell to high water, I see this is happening. Whether it be a pregnancy or whether it be you meeting somebody. I'm very good at predicting people's future love. I've gotten many testimonials with that. The stories. I literally got thousands of interesting stories to go on and on and on, of really cool experiences. While I'm in a reading, I don't remember jack crap what I say to anybody. After I do a reading for somebody, I don't remember. The only time I remember really cool stories is when people come back to me a week, 2 weeks, month, a year later, or whatever, and they tell me stories that I said to them that came true. I'm in a conscious state of mind, so I'm going to remember the cool stories. I did a reading for this one lady. I was at a party, and just when she sat down in front of me, I was just, reading people individually, not as a group, but individually. And she sat in front of me. She says, Artie, you did a reading for me here at this house 2 years ago. And she goes, and you told me I need to go to Atlantic City or start buying lottery tickets because you saw me winning lots and lots of money. You saw me winning tens of thousands of dollars. And I told you I'm not a gambler, and I'm still not a gambler. She goes, well, 6 months later was my birthday. And one of my kids came over to my house to help celebrate my birthday. So one of my kids gave me 5 $2 scratch off happy birthday lottery tickets. She goes, my first ticket that I rubbed off, I won $50,000.
Wow, that's
So that
amazing.
was pretty cool.
This is an interesting question from Francis. She said, Christopher says he's loving this interview. Thank you, Christopher. Did you ever have a concussion?
No.
I wonder why she would ask that. It's an interesting question. Is there any relation?
I've never had a concussion. I've had people who have gave me a headache.
Yeah, that felt like a concussion.
But really never a concussion.
You and me both.
You know?
Sometimes the internet gives me a concussion.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like a nut and sometimes I don't.
Peter Paul, that's right. Um, what do you use for protection when reading tarot cards? Sage, crystal, stones, salt mirrors. That's from Jennifer Barry.
I literally pray to my angels every day. And my prayer is I call upon all my loving guardian angels, because we all have guardian angels. And, I'll call upon Archangel Michael, depending who I want to bring in. But I call upon all my loving guardian angels. Thank you for blessing my day with peace, love, serenity, and balance. Thank you for all the beautiful protection, love, and prosperity you choose to share with me. I graciously accept it all. In the name of the Holy Spirit, amen. So that's what I do. And you visualize the white light going over you. Now, just because I'm a medium, I could talk to dead people and I'm psychic and I can pick up energies off of people. When I'm out in public, my antennas are shut off. I don't care to know everybody else's problems, energy, or whatnot. So when I'm in restaurants, the malls, public, the beach, I don't know anything about anybody.
But
But,
do you shut them off, or do they
yes,
automatically shut off the
no,
antennas?
the angels know. The angels know that I'm shut off.
Is that
So
to protect you?
yes, exactly. So people who are on, who they say they're on 24/7 and they can't shut it off, they can shut it off. It just takes some prayers or a conscious effort. But subconsciously, they really don't want it to be shut off. But if they really want it to be shut off, you just meditate and ask Archangel Michael to protect you with the white light. So, because when you're on 24/7 as a psychic or a medium, you're going to deal with lots of depression and anxiety because you're picking up on everyone else's energy. But
Have you
when I
gone
want to
through that?
turn, but when I want to turn it on the dime, the angels are there for me. And if I want to know information on the dime about somebody or something, the angels are there for me, giving me answers.
Have you struggled with depression and anxiety as a result of the overwhelm of the knowledge that you have presented to you?
I don't feel like I've ever gotten depressed for that reason. If I'm feeling depression, it's for personal reasons. If I'm upset or depressed about circumstances, that's usually the case. But no, I can't say I have. Like I said, I'm human. Have I feel depressed or upset or, yes, of course I'm human. But as far as picking up from other people's energy, I am empathetic, and there are people who deal with a lot of, oh my God, heavy duty situations. Now, I also want people to know I'm just as accurate over the phone or FaceTiming. I'm just as accurate over the phone as I am in person and people say, well, how do you do that? Because it's spirit to spirit that I'm connecting with. And so there are times where I would bring my mother's picture with me because, my mom's very close to me. I was always very close to my mom since forever. She passed away a few years back. And so I'll bring her picture with me and I'll look at the picture. I said, Mom, what's going on with this person? So even though the person never knew my mother, everyone who's in the spiritual world, everybody knows everyone's business. It's unconditional love. There are no secrets. So my mom will tell me about what's going on with that person. If I'm just tired, I don't really feel like reading, but I'm reading because the person wants, of course, I'm being paid for my time. But then there are times where, you know, um, your loved ones will give me all this information about you, who passed away or whatever. Well, how do you know that? Because they're telling me. It's just like the movie Ghost. I'm the Whoopi Goldberg, and your loved ones or your angels are Patrick Swayze, and they're whispering me all this information. So you think Whoopi Goldberg's so smart in the movie, but no, she knows all the information because she has a spirit like Patrick Swayze giving her all the answers. That's exactly the way it is. That's why I say I'm not better than anybody, but I did learn to develop an ability to channel spirit so that spirit could speak to me in my heart and soul. Now, am I right 100% of the times? No. Am I right most of the times? Yes. Have I given people winning lottery numbers? Yes. Not to pick five or pick six. I haven't done that. I've given pick three and pick four. When people ask me for it, I can't give it. It doesn't happen that way. But while I'm in a session, if a number comes to me, a pick three or a pick four, yeah, then I'll share it with the person. And, a lot of times they've won. I've given out easily over 100 winning lottery numbers or gambling situations and personal stock tips and stuff. Like people have won or gotten a lot of money. But, you know, people say, well, if you're so good, Artie, then why don't you just pick the sports or pick the lottery? Because it's not meant for that purpose and reason. But a lot of times the reason why I'll give somebody a pick 3 or a pick 4, because it's not life altering. It's, you know, it's nice, an extra couple $100 or a few $1,000 or whatnot. And it's from your loved one. It's a gift from your loved one. And an interesting story is I'm doing a party. I'm doing a group of 40 women in one room. Lucky me, huh? So I'm doing a group with 40 women in one room. And so I said to this one lady that was sitting there, and I said, your mother's here right now, and she wants you to play her birthday because her birthday is coming out real soon. She wants you to play because you're going to win money. Now, I didn't know what her mother's birthday was. Now, a couple weeks later, what happened was the lady who owned the cafe, she called me up and she says, Artie, you were reading for my best friend. The one who you said about playing the lottery was her mother's birthday. That was my best friend you were reading. And so she does missionary work. She does her work for free. She helps out the public, and she travels the world and helps out orphanages and all that stuff. So she said, I just want you to know, she played her mother's birthday the next day and she won $6,000. And that was her mother's gift to her, to let her know that she's proud of her and for doing such great work. And she never would have played her mother's birthday had I have not been in that position, had her mother not have spoke to me to give her the answers. And it's not just about money. It's about health. I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to Harvard. I didn't go to Yale. Actually, I tell people I went to the University of Boston, Maryland for 2 years, but that was just to visit my friends.
That's funny.
And so I wrote a book called Angels and Answers.
Mm-hmm.
And I channeled that book. And there's about, you're going to see that book is written with such depth, but yet I explain it in very simplistic terms that everyone who's watching, if you were to buy my book, Angels and Answers, and I'm not saying this to sound for business purposes, trust me, I'm not. But if you're going to think that I wrote this book just for you, because you're going to have a lot of aha moments of what you thought about your life and what you thought about God or about certain situations. The problem that I had with the book is that people were telling me, Art, the book was too small. I wanted more information. And so one of my friends said, Artie, you owe it to your fans, to your public. You need to write another book. So right now I'm in the end stages. I'm in the editing stages of writing my second book, of a lot more aha moments about life and about relationships and about God and about, life. It's just awesome. And the name of the second book is called Have Your Angels Call My Angels. I love that title. So it's really, really funny. Cool. And I promise you're going to like it when it comes out. And Angels and Answers, you're going to love that book. And if you go to artiehoffman.com, you can get the book. Or if you go to amazon.com, you could order the book. And I promise you, it's going to make a difference. And I would probably say the biggest blessing, the biggest compliment that I've gotten in my life, one of the biggest compliments, is when people say, Artie, I bought, like, your book made such a difference in my life that I bought like 10 copies and I handed out, and I gave it to my friends and family as gifts, or I handed it out. And
we're showing the book cover on the screen right now, Angels and Answers, so people can see the actual cover. There it is. And there's it's at Amazon too.
Yeah, Amazon.com. And write a review after you read it. But there's an explanation about 10 of the archangels and 2 saints that I picked. And I explained the understanding and the sinew of the angels and of the saints. And like I said, I always wanted to be a therapist growing up. I always wanted to be a therapist growing up when I was in school. But you know what? I really sucked at school. I was very popular as far as personality and lots of friends, and the teachers liked me. But scholastically, I didn't have patience for school, and I just sucked at it. And I didn't go to college. And now here I am as a psychic. I through the channels, I told you how I became a psychic, as far as, going to the Edgar Casey Foundation and learning how to do it. And I've gotten to be so good at it that people call me their psychic therapist. And the beautiful thing is I have therapists who come to see me for answers. How cool is that?
It's amazing, isn't it?
You know,
Absolutely.
it's such a compliment. And I'm not saying that I'm better than anybody, but everybody needs help. And I can't see jack crap for myself. People ask me. I could, you know, I mean, I have my angel cards and I have my pendulum, and I'll ask questions and pray like hell I'm right about myself. But I go to my other friends who are psychic or mediums, and they'll give me answers, or, you know, and I usually like to go to people who don't know me at all, because, you know, it's hard to read for friends or family, because when you're emotionally connected to the outcome, it's difficult to know what is coming from the person or what's coming spiritually. Spiritually is what you want, but it's like, is this coming from me or is this coming from spiritually? But when I'm reading people who I don't know from Shanghai, you know, and there are people who have asked me who I'm good friends with, you know, if they ask me, you know, Art, what do you see about this? What do you see about that? And I'll tell them, you know.
Well,
And
Mary Ryan asks, while you're doing this, is anyone talking to you?
I got to tell you something funny. They say that if you talk to God, they call it prayer. If God talks to you, they call it schizophrenia.
That's about right.
So, yeah. So right now, is anybody speaking to me? No, I feel like I'm being channeled to say certain things on the air, because whenever I do interviews or whenever I'm doing readings, I never know. Like, there's no prep work on my part as far as what I'm going to say. So
Somebody
I feel
asked,
like I'm
somebody
being
asked,
channeled.
you're being channeled. Well,
Yeah.
that's why you just triggered me in a question that somebody had earlier of the folks, of the viewers that we have. Is there anybody that you're clicking into, that you're channeling, any of these viewers that you're feeling right now? Because some of them have been asking if you're getting anything, any energy from the viewers we have watching literally from around the world right now. Is there anybody? Really,
Yes,
Corey,
as a matter of
they're
fact,
they're
here's a
sharing
loved
so
one.
much beautiful stuff. They're sharing about their own stuff. Like
Okay,
Frances
so
says,
right now,
she says, almost all my visions, she's right. And she finds that scary. Her visions turning out to be
it's not
right.
scary. No, it's a blessing to help out other people. You know, right now, somebody who's watching right now, who's in spirit. All right, there's somebody who's watching right now, and somebody's birthday either was today or was just yesterday, but it's like right now, and they're sending their love to you, letting you know how much they love you. All right. And there's somebody right now who's also going by the name of Rose, sending out their blessings to you, letting you know again that they're very, very healthy. They're good. I'm very proud of you. Don't worry. You're concerned about, did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing? That's what you're concerned about, you know, after they passed away. Because I feel like somebody who's watching right now, it's like there's something about finances and family members, and there's some fighting going on, and you're trying to do the right thing, and people are thinking that you're the evil one, you're the bad one, and you're trying to do right by everybody and trying to do right by one of your parents, and I'm being told to tell you, you are doing the right thing, but I feel like the people that are around you are very greedy, and they want what they want for themselves, and they're not really thinking about everybody else. But that's why you were made the executor, because one of your parents made you the person who, made you the executor because of the kind of person you are. If it wasn't directly your parents, it was somebody who you looked up to as a parent, or who you looked up as a mother or father figure. But it's definitely a parent figure, and they're blowing you kisses. Also, your loved one is also acknowledging the tattoo that you did on their behalf. And there's somebody who's watching that you did their signature. One of them, there was a tattoo also that's on the back of the shoulder that was done on their behalf. Another one was of a rose. Again, I'm seeing a rose of a tattoo. Another one was a butterfly. Another one, there's 2 or 3 of you that did matching tattoos on behalf of somebody who passed away, and they're giving acknowledgement to that. And one of you, somebody keeps on saying, "Kiss my ass, kiss my ass, kiss my ass." I keep on that, like that's a common expression either with you or the person who crossed over, and it's like a constant expression. Kiss my ass. So those
Are you
some of
sure
the
that
things that I was
last one isn't you and me saying that? New
Could be.
Jersey and New York.
There you
That's
go.
that's part of our vocabulary.
That's right. That's right. It's
It's
as
a
fun
really
as
wonderful.
saying, "Hey, how you doing?"
That's the same thing as I love you. Uh,
But in an
Mary,
endearing way.
in an endearing way. Mary says my birthday is Saturday, and Francis says Rose, for who that was my father's sister's name. That is really interesting. And so Francis is asking, who is the reading for?
It's a multiple of people. It's a multiple of people. I was getting information, boom, 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 boom. So I wasn't looking at any one specific question. You have to understand when there's a lot of people in the room or a lot of people, I can't understand. So I do a Facebook Live show every single Sunday night. Every single Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I read people for free for 1 hour. And people log in just like they're logging into your show. And when they log in, I tell people, if you want to connect to a loved one, let me know. Do you want to connect to your mother, your grandmother, your son, your daughter, your aunt, your uncle? Give me their first name, and then your name, and then I could relate to it. If it's a child, let me know how old the child is. Let me have the name of the child and how old the child is. So you have to understand when I'm getting lots of questions hitting me, boom, 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 boom. I have to be able to specifically channel in. So I got to zero in on the specifics. I'm not asking you about their character or what they said or what you used to do or whatever. Now, there's somebody who's watching right now where the rubber duckies, something about duckies or chickies is very, very important to them. And that was a big thing. And somebody also put in somebody's coffin, they put in, I want to say like either, it was like, I'm getting three things: a frog, a turtle, and a little teddy bear. And I feel like somebody slipped in something within the coffin of somebody who passed away, and they're giving acknowledgement. But it was something very endearing. It was like a connection between the two of them. And I'm seeing those three objects. I'm seeing those three animals: frog, the turtle, and also a little teddy bear.
That's interesting. That's really interesting that you say that. Yeah. Some people are actually responding to that. Yeah, that's amazing. We had an uncle pass, and we put a rose in the coffin because he loved and raised roses, which is amazing that you mentioned Rose earlier, but as a person's name, but still
It's
the
all
flower.
connected. And also somebody has someone's clock or grandfather clock or cuckoo clock that is very endearing to them. And I get like they're always when they're looking at when they look over, they always look at the clock and it's always the same numbers that they're looking at. And yes, that is your loved one letting you know that they're around you. And a lot of people, there's somebody who's watching. I keep on seeing 444. I keep on seeing 111. I keep on seeing consecutive numbers. And that's the angels letting you know that they're around. But also there's a cuckoo clock or a grandfather clock that was never working. And then all of a sudden it started to work for a short period of time. Or it was working and it stopped right at a specific time. And it was like at the time that they passed away. And then the clock started again.
Do you get physical reactions to this? Do you get migraines, headaches, other nausea, other physical reactions to the constant information and energy that you receive, Artie?
No.
That's terrific.
No, because it's all a part of my protection. I bought the high-end protection plan. I got a piece of the rock.
That's right. It's a piece of the rock. Remember that commercial? That's a Mutual of Omaha. Renee in Iowa put a frog in her grandmother's coffin from her frog collection. She put a teddy bear angel in her mom's coffin since she believed in angels.
Right. See, and that's the one specifically who I was talking about. I say the frog or the turtle because, they're both small and they're both green. So I wasn't sure. And I mentioned the teddy bear. So yes. And so that is a specific message for her. And she's letting you know she's very proud of you. And sweetheart, I'm always around you. And thank you for your gifts. She says, I will cherish it forever.
It could be too, because she just went through a horrific situation where they had a thing called like a Dorico go through where she is in Iowa that caused, it's like an inland hurricane that caused significant damage and loss, and they've been out of power and struggling. And so I wonder if her going through all of that this week is causing any of this, like, the relative saying, we're okay, you're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's through affirmation. That's exactly what it is. It's just letting them know that they're around you. Like when I'm feeling down and out, like I said, the human side kicks in on me. My mom definitely makes herself known around me, and she'll send me little signs all the time. Like I see my mother's birthday appear all the time, 12/21, and on license plates or looking at the clock, it'll just be 12/21, or I'll see 1/21, like 21 minutes after, but the 1/2 and then the 2/1, with 1/21. So she shows me. So there was a time where I woke up and I was really missing my mom. I was really in the mood to hear from my mom, and I spoke out loud as soon as I woke up. And I said, Mom, I said, do me a favor. Can you please let me know that you're around me? Let me know that you're around me. I said, I need to feel you. I want to feel you. And so it was an early Sunday morning, and I was traveling a distance on a major highway. And a huge 18-wheeler, a large 18-wheeler truck goes right by me. There was no advertisement on the trailer whatsoever. But right across the trailer, it said 12/21. And that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing.
You mentioned the grandfather clock, and Renee, same person, says, our grandfather clock from my father-in-law worked until we moved it to our house after he passed away. Then it stopped working.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
There you go. I must be psychic. Now, I got to tell you something really funny. The audience is really going to appreciate this story. So here I am. I just went to a comedy show. I'm with my wife, who was my wife at the time. And we go to a restaurant across the way. So my wife says to me, she goes, I'm just going to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. I said, all right, go, no problem. So right next to us, we had a 2-table seater because it just her and I. Right next to us was a table seater. All right, there was an 8 tables. There was a bunch of friends hanging out with each other. They were like, about my age, give or take. And so they're all talking and blah, blah, blah. And one lady was really friendly. And she looks at me and she goes, oh, what's your name? And I told her my name. And she goes, so what do you do for a living? I said, I'm a psychic. She goes, really? You're a psychic? So all of a sudden she started, she looked out to the other table. She goes, this guy's a psychic. And so a guy at the other end, he goes, oh, that's bull crap. He goes, he says, they could Google information just like that. He says, with that John Edward thing, and people are in the audience, they plant and they listen, and that's all bull crap. They could Google information in a heartbeat. So he said, so the guy said to me, he goes, can you read me? He says, can you read me now? I said, well, yeah, come over here. So he comes over, and I said, let me hold on to your watch or your keys or something, or your hand or whatever. So he gave me his watch, and I'm holding on to his watch. And I said to him, I said, you're looking for something very valuable. I said, it's either gold jewelry or diamond ring. I said, you're looking for something very valuable. It's gone, and you're looking for it. I said, it's gone. He goes, oh my God. He goes, he says, just within the last 2 days, I was looking around for my mother's wedding ring, a beautiful diamond ring. And I had it on on the windowsill in my bathroom. I had a couple of guys come in. They were doing work. So I said, it's stolen. He goes, how did you know that? And I said, it was easy. I said,
his signal is signal is rough there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So
did
you hear the whole story?
A little bit. You must have a weak signal or something with that iPhone. You disappeared.
Okay, so
but you're there now. You can go. You can go back maybe 2 sentences.
All right. So I'm going to explain to you. So the guy, said, could you read me? And I said, yes. So I said, let me have your watch. So he stands in front of me. I'm holding his watch. And I said, you're looking for an expensive piece of jewelry, whether it be gold or a diamond ring. And I said, but it's lost. It's gone. And I said, you've been searching for it, but it's gone. And he goes, how did you know that? He goes, I just put my mother's wedding ring, diamond ring, on the windowsill. And I had some men work for me, and they were redoing my bathroom, and like the ring is gone. I said, yeah, one of the guys stole it. It's gone. He goes, how did you know that? I said, it's easy. I just Googled you, jokingly, because he's standing right in front of me. So he goes, do that again. Do that again. I said, all right.
Yeah.
So he gives me his watch. And I said, right now you're looking to change insurance companies. I said, you need to stay with the one that you originally have. Don't switch insurance companies. I said, stay with the one you have. He goes, just yesterday, my boss gave us a new plan to pick from for health insurance. Either we could stick with the old one or we could switch it. He says, I was just looking at those papers yesterday. He goes, how did you know that? I said, I told you. I Googled your information. That's how it came up. Of course I didn't Google it because I was standing right in front of him. I just gave it to him right instantly. But the spiritual world is the one that's giving me all the information. My angels are giving me the information. And so do I feel like I changed his thought process, the skeptic that he was forever? I think so. Are there people who are scam artists who do what I do? Yes. Are there people who manipulate other people for their own benefit? Yes. Are there people who are true blue and who are honest and who try to really help out people like myself? The answer is yes. You're going to have good people and bad people in any profession. So I don't try to prove myself to anybody. I did it just for the fun of it. I wasn't trying to prove myself. I did it for shits and giggles. I just did it for the fun of it. And
Renee, absolutely. Renee in Iowa, the one that, with the frog in the coffin and all. She says, my father-in-law always said no one was getting that grandfather clock after he died. So he already had it that nobody was going to take it out of his house because I guess it was special to him. So her father-in-law said no one was going to get that clock after he died, and he would make sure that the clock wouldn't work afterwards if someone took it from his house. They did take it, bring it to their house, and it doesn't work.
Yeah, well, you could easily get it fixed. I mean, it might cost.
Well, all that buildup I just did, you could easily bring it down to Sal's. He'll fix it.
That's right. Bring it down to Vinny Ungot's down the block. He'll fix anything.
Yeah, exactly. Francis, hello, Marcia, watching from Massachusetts. Do you have any questions for our wonderful guest, Artie Hoffman? He is here. Francis says, Artie, I have not shared anything with you until tonight, but the visions you spoke of a lot are of mine. Thank you. Does that mean we are a good psychic team?
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing. There's a lot of questions that are coming in here. Kathleen Walker in New York City. My uncle Vinny passed in March. I always wondered if you knew how much I loved him.
He said, I do now. And he goes, I love you in blue. I love you in blue. That's what he said. He said, your best color is blue. And,
which is amazing because she works for a company that works for the New York Mets, and blue is one of their colors.
Yeah. And he goes, all right. And he's rubbing his stomach. He goes, all right, now what's to eat?
Time to eat. That's it. Uncle Vinny still wants to eat, even up in heaven, Kathleen.
He's rubbing his stomach. He goes, all right, what's for dinner? What are we having?
Merlin in Innerkip, Ontario, Canada asks, is the name Ralph coming to you at all? Ralph.
Other than the honeymooners? Ralph. It's funny. When I think of Ralph, I'm thinking of Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal in that famous scene. Yes, as far as faking orgasms, unless if that's what she did or that's what, I don't know what the relationship is, but I'm seeing Meg Ryan and I'm seeing
in the restaurant.
I'll have what she's
Yeah.
having.
Yeah. And do you know who played that? Do you know who that woman was? I didn't realize it until
It
recently.
was his mother.
Right. But you know who the person was playing that? I didn't know until recently, until this national comedic genius just passed away a few weeks ago. That was the woman that said, "I'll have what she's having."
I feel like it's his mother, right?
Carl Reiner's wife, Rob Reiner's mother, was that
Oh,
woman.
really?
Didn't know
No
that.
way.
Yeah, that's amazing, right?
That was great. That's a famous scene, that famous moment. But for
I'll
some
have what she's
reason,
having.
I saw that scene while she mentioned Ralph. And I don't know, maybe he has that playful, promiscuous personality, or he always joked around with innuendos. But for some reason, that thought process just came into my mind.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Jennifer Barry's mentioning she's picking up something about a toy plane. Someone had or lost a toy plane.
That I don't know.
Yeah, nothing really with that. And sometimes it happens, right? It's not always something where you're going to get something from it, right? It has to be specific or just
Well,
has
no,
to
you also
flow.
have to understand that when I say things to people, a lot of times they don't appreciate or understand exactly what I'm saying in the moment, because it happens days, weeks, or many months later. And there's a really interesting story where I was doing a reading for this one lady. I'm at a party, and she emails me 2 weeks later. She emails me and she said, "Artie, when I first met you, I thought you were a very nice guy. I didn't think you were a great reader, but I thought you were a nice guy. Until 1 week later, you blew me out of the water." She goes, "You told me that you saw me going to Florida, to the Key West. You told me you saw me sitting on a boat in the middle of the blue waters in Florida, and you saw me just relaxing, enjoying the sun." She goes, "I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this is going to happen." She goes, "At the time, my husband and I, we can't even afford to leave the county because we live paycheck to paycheck. We don't go anywhere. We don't do anything." She goes, 2 days later, my husband's best friend gave him a call, and he said, "Listen, I want to fly you and your wife out here on my dime. I want you to come visit me at my place. I have a place in the Keys, in Key West." He goes, "We're going to go fishing, and you don't have to worry about the flight. You don't have to worry about food. You don't have to worry about where you're sleeping. You're going to stay with me. I'm going to pay for everything. I just want you guys out here." She goes, "Artie, 1 week later, I was on that boat in the middle of the blue waters, relaxing in the sun." And then she writes, "Artie, you rock," with exclamation point.
That's
So mind
fantastic.
you, I don't create the future. I only see what I see. And I'm able to maybe help people's situation in the future because I'm able to see what's in store for them. So I give them a healthy perspective on how to deal with their life, to deal with themselves, to deal with other people, to deal with situations. It's not always the problem that's the problem. It's how you choose to deal with the problem is what the problem is. Or if you could look at it from a healthier perspective, then you could overcome any obstacle or problem. But when you're not coming to an acceptance with the person who you're with, you're not coming to an acceptance with your situation because you want what you want out of them or out of it. If you're not coming to an acceptance that it is what it is or they are who they are, if you're not coming to that acceptance, you're going to bang your head against the wall. So when I give people the understanding and the meaning behind the scenes within your relationship or within that person, it helps give you a better perspective of your
Mm.
life or the situation.
Question from Christine Fairwood saying, "Are some people harder to read than others?"
Definitely. Yeah. Not all people. Most people I could read pretty well. Some people are not for a few reasons. Number one, if they're very challenging to me, like they don't want me to be right because of my reputation. It's like, "Oh, let's see how good you are." And they literally could shut off their energy. If somebody is extremely angry and very bitter, if they're very judgmental, like no matter what you say, No, no, no. So they're blocking the energy off. They're not there. It's like, why are you wasting your time and money with me? If you really don't want to hear what I have to say or hear what the spiritual world has to say, then what are you trying to prove? That's stupid. So there are people who, yeah, who could block the energy because they're very angry, bitter, jealous, judgmental. Those reasons, yeah. Mostly people are not. But I would probably say, no exaggeration, probably like 98% of the people who I see pretty well.
That's amazing.
Now, there are
Yeah.
times where I've told people information and they're saying no, no, no. And their friends or their family members who's sitting right next to them, they're saying, yes, 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 because they really don't want to look at the truth of their life or their decisions. And their family members are saying, we told you that. Like, yes, he's definitely right. Like, you're not looking at, they try to look at it from how they want to look at it. See, but I promote everyone to record your sessions when you're with me. Before I used to have the cassette tapes. Now I can't even find cassette tapes, so I can't personally record it for people. But when people with their iPhones or their phones, they could definitely record the session. They could definitely record their session themselves. And let me tell you something, recordings have saved my ass more times than you can imagine, because so many times where people have denied what I told them. And then when they re-listen to it 6 months, a year, 2 years later, 5 years later, they re-listen to the recording and they go, oh my God, Artie, this happened, that happened, this happened. You mentioned the date, you mentioned the situation. And I'm blown out of the water that I was able to do that. I'm listening to them like somebody else told them that, not me. It's like, seriously, I go, really? Really? I wonder if I could do that again.
Hmm. Right. Richard asks, do animals come through during a reading?
100% yes, I could read animals. Yeah, I've communicated to animals who have passed away. And there was a lady who came onto my show one time. She says, Artie, there's something wrong with my horse. Can you channel what's wrong with my horse? She goes, I brought the vet over and they can't understand what is wrong with the horse. So I was like on the spot. I was on the spot. And this is during my Facebook Live show. And I'm wondering if I could actually do this. Now I'm asked to be a veterinarian. And again, I didn't go to school, nor did I see the horse or look at the horse. So I channeled. And yeah, so I said, yeah, I said, there's an inflammation with your horse's stomach, from the stomach to the intestines. There's a problem with your horse right there. Every single time your horse eats, when it goes to digest and turns into, crap, when it goes into through digestion process stage, I said, it burns the horse so bad, it hurts it so bad that the horse is afraid to eat because of the pain. And that's why your horse is losing weight, because it's not eating, and because of that problem. So a week later, the lady came back on the air and she said, Artie, I need to give you an affirmation. She said, the veterinarian came back and you were right. She goes, the intestines, where the intestines and the stomach meet, are totally inflamed, and there was nothing the vet could do for it. And that's exactly where the problem was. And we had to put her down. So, I felt bad for the horse. I mean, I didn't kill the horse, but I was able to tell what was going on. So, I mean, legal advice, medical advice, doctor's advice, relationship advice, business advice, advice of advice. So,
Exactly. A few questions coming in here. Marsha Lyon, and again, feel free to post while Artie is with us here. He is live. You're on the Jim Master Show live. Marsha says she misses her husband, Winthrop, who died in 2011. Marsha, actually, I know she was for years a volunteer at public television, would come into the studio and answer phones during pledge drive in support of PBS programming. Wonderful person. She said her husband, Winthrop, passed in 2011. He was my soulmate. I would love to have someone come into my life, but if not, I'm quite content knowing I was fortunate enough to have him in my life and what we had together. Any message from Winthrop? Any insight into my future?
all right, I'll answer the one question. he wants you to open up your heart to someone else and not feel guilty. The reason why she hasn't had anybody after him is because of her guilt. There's a sense of guilt or a loyalty that she has towards him or with him. And so that's why there's a subconscious thing that she was actually blocking. But he wants her to know that he is perfectly okay with her being with someone else at this point, because he's in the spiritual world and she's here. So he doesn't feel jealous, but he doesn't say that because he doesn't love her. He says that because he loves her, and he'd rather see her in a happy, healthy relationship than to be alone. But he said you need to put yourself out there and put your best self out there. And what I strongly suggest to people is that when you're going out on your dates with, trying to date people, do not make your dates, your therapy session, bashing your spouses or your partners, your previous. Don't go there, because you're there to have a good time. Talk about positive thoughts, talk about positive experiences, talk about positive situations. Don't go to negativity, and don't instantly say, I want to get married, or I'm looking to have kids. Don't go there. Don't make it definitely with an agenda. Just enjoy you being with a new person or a new stranger or whoever. Just enjoy sharing time together without an agenda. Let the relationship grow. Don't go with strong intentions, because if you're going with the sense of neediness or desperation or anxiousness, that energy, other people pick up on it, whether they're spiritual or not, but subconsciously they pick up on it. And when people are acting like that, you're blocking out energy. So just go being your best self and just share the best of you with someone else. And if it works out, great, continue. And if not, you know what? It was nice meeting you for the moment. Have a nice life. And I also recommend that when people are dating for the very first time, when you're meeting somebody for the first time, meet them under healthy circumstances, meaning meet them for breakfast, meet them for lunch. Don't meet them at nighttime for dinner. It's a different energy and there's more pressure, dealing with dinner and drinks and, and all that stuff. So that's what I would recommend. Keep it lighter.
Exactly. Merlin in Canada says, my husband Ralph had ALS and decided to die after 27 months in the hospital. Can you see him at peace now?
Oh, very much so. The moment the soul leaves the body, it's the body that dies. The person doesn't die. Or your loved ones who passed away, they're not dead. They're still alive as much as you and I. What died was the body. So once the soul lifts up out of the body, all pains go away. And he's as healthy as an ox. And you are going to start to see hearts appear all over the place. You're going to see hearts appear outside your house, outside your place. And whenever you see the hearts, that's his little hellos to you to let you know how much he loves you.
I'm sure that provides a real sense of comfort for Merlin. Linda in Florida, what do you see within me, meaning Linda, such as can you hear my dad? And also in terms of her with a relationship.
Well, I'll only do one question at a time. So, something with strawberries. I think her dad liked strawberries and or cherries. It's funny. I see him loosening his belt after eating. Hold on.
Like on Thanksgiving Day, yeah.
Yeah, hold on a second. And I feel like there was a time or a moment where he actually I know it's going to sound embarrassing, but I'm sorry, this is what he's showing. There was a time where he let one loose in front of everybody, and it was very embarrassing for the family or for the certain people. And he made not a big deal about it. He joked about it, but it was about letting one go in front of certain family.
And we're not talking about a joke.
Right. But he's at peace right now. He's at peace, and she's about to make a big decision. She's making a big change in her life, and her father is telling her, "You're making the right choice by making the changes in your life." Or I don't know if it's about the relationship or about the job, but there's a change that she needs to make or she's been contemplating, and he says, "You're right to make the move." I don't mean to sound rude, but right now I have to get going.
Her father grew strawberries.
Awesome. That's why I
And
saw it.
you mentioned the strawberries. You mentioned the strawberries. Well, it was a pleasure having you on, Artie. It was a pleasure. We really appreciate it. And you're welcome back anytime, my friend. Hope you enjoyed the time with us and all these wonderful viewers as much as I did having you on our show today.
Oh, I did. And I'm sorry about all the crackling and stuff like that. It's
That's
but
just the iPhone. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's never happened before, but I'll use the computer next time.
That's
And
it. You don't think it was some sort of an intervention? Was Satan trying to
yeah, I don't know.
disrupt anything
There's a reason.
with the iPhone? Because Apple stock is worth $2 trillion now.
Uh-oh. You got to jump on that one. But I just want everybody to know. I just want everybody to know that I do have a free Facebook Live show every Sunday night. If you go to my Facebook, Angels and Answers, or if you go to artiehoffman.com, my link is right to my show. And I read people for free for 1 hour. And I read people around the country or around the world. And, if people want a private reading or a party, I travel to people's homes. If you want a private reading over the phone or in person, because I'm in New Jersey, my number is 732-778-7173. And I'll repeat it, 732-778-7173. You could call me or text me. And my email address is artiehoffman@gmail.com. And it was such a pleasure sharing time with you. And I really, really appreciate it. And I enjoyed myself.
I did as well, Artie. You take care. You be well. And thanks for being on the show. And we'll have you back soon, okay?
Sounds like a plan. Enjoy your evening.
You take care and stay healthy, too.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Have a good night. Exciting, interesting, fascinating, eye-opening, and inspiring. Wouldn't you say? It was a pleasure having him on the show, and it was a pleasure having you ask those questions as well. This show, the Jim Master Show Live, is an entertainment lifestyle talk show series where we do something different every single day. And that's the way I designed this show. And I love that because sometimes we'll have a musical artist. Sometimes it's just us talking about life and we're having a wonderful conversation. We're sharing our lives together. Me, the host, you, the fabulous viewers from around the world. Fabulous viewers, that is. Need vodka in that orange juice tonight. Now, if you notice, and it's too bad Willie went to bed so early, you don't hear the crackling sound, do you? No. You don't hear the noise. As mentioned earlier, it was the fact that he was using an iPhone. And if a guest uses a phone that's an iPhone when they do the interview, it's iPhones for some reason and streaming is for some reason just doesn't really, they don't marry. I don't know why, for what it costs for an iPhone. If you notice, you don't hear that noise anymore, right? Gone. And I knew that would be the case. So it's got to be a tablet, a PC, a webcam, another camera, an Android phone like this one here. One of these. If you're going to do going to be a guest on the show, we actually prefer people don't use phones. Phones are funky. So many times you have people that use phones and, the battery, my phone, this Android is really cool. It's the Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I know they have a 10 that came out, but it's a great phone. And the battery lasts for like 2.5, almost 3 days, which is amazing. That's the phone I should have had with me when I drove alone through Death Valley, right? Just in case. But if you notice, you don't hear that crackling anymore. And again, we have to make sure here at our show to let the guests know, don't use an iPhone, because we actually contacted our technical crew and they said iPhones are not good. So if you ever hear that, and sometimes maybe once in a while you hear that, it's sort of like a, which can be annoying. That's when it's not coming from this end. It's not coming from our microphones. It's not coming from our technology or our studio. It's somehow coming from the signal that their phone is emitting. He had a lot of struggle trying to get on too. I had to extend my intro 30 minutes because I saw him popping up. There's a little screen there where the guest sits in like a queue window. And he was popping in and out. He was there, and then he disappeared, and then he was there. So I think his Wi-Fi signal where he was as well, that's why he disappeared and the screen went black on his end. I think the Wi-Fi signal wasn't so hot as well. Maybe he's got some bad weather or just where he was positioned in his room, because I saw him struggling. I saw like, it looked like he was having an earthquake before, and I wasn't going to put him on as his thing was shifting and you couldn't see his head and he was like going like this. He's probably trying to find the perfect spot in his room for the signal. So I would say for about 20 minutes during my intro, he was there and then disappeared. Then he was there and disappeared and there and disappeared. And then you could see the top of his head, the bottom of his head. And he couldn't find the link to get on the show. So I was talking to him on the cell phone and texting him as well. And Francis, I see that post. We'll get that for you. We'll get that for you. So yeah, that crackling sound, I hate when that happens because we have such advanced technology here, but we have deduced. And I've been talking to the streaming service extensively. And they said it's when somebody uses an iPhone. And we don't use phones or any of that for this. We're using all high-tech equipment for the show. So that's what that noise is. Because you notice in the intro, there was no sound. And you notice you don't hear it now. I mean, Gilligan, do you hear any sound? He doesn't hear the sound. There's Gilligan. Gilligan enjoyed himself. I wonder if he could have channeled Gilligan, Bob Denver. Especially the fact that we've got the official Gilligan collectible doll here from Gilligan, from Bob Denver's wife, Wonderful Dream of Denver. Could be. You're right, Marcia, and you've known me for years, and you've seen me in the studio on television, and you've seen me thrown into the fire sometimes. Jim, run out there. We're live. Chaos is happening. Just say something. Make some magic on TV, especially on public television. It's good that you can multitask. I know. And with this show, it's a lot of multitasking. Very interesting show. I would agree. Absolutely. And it's really cool. And that's what I like about this show is we have something different. I don't want it to be the same thing. Like we're not always going to have the same kind of guests, the same topic. And even when we talk, you guys, we did an hour and a half on food. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have brought some of the fudgesicles that we have on the other side of the house in the refrigerator, in the freezer. And just had a nice fudgesicle. I could do 20 minutes on a fudgesicle. And so can you guys. You guys are amazing. Whenever we talk about food, great questions tonight. I really, really appreciate that. Yes, you can always check the YouTube replay. Here, I'll show you that. We'll pull that up for you so you can get all the information as far as that. If you ever missed an episode of our show, because again, we have all kinds of great guests. We're going to be doing some singing on the show too. We're putting some things together. That's going to be really cool. We're going to have, I'm very excited. Coming up, we're working on this. This is sort of a pre-announcement. It's very exciting. Francis, there you go. The YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV. If you haven't subscribed to it, definitely do so. And you should try to, create a little profile. You don't have to post videos to be on YouTube to watch our show. And you don't have to post videos or create videos to subscribe to our channel either. You could just subscribe to it because we do some pop-up special shows sometimes just on YouTube, which is really cool. So you'll be able to post comments. Merlin has become an expert. Christine also, who helped Merlin figure it out. They're experts at figuring out how you can get on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and be able to post comments on YouTube as well. YouTube is solid. Facebook sometimes can be funky. Facebook sometimes can mute things, and Facebook has a lot of issues with copyright. There's a lot of different things with Facebook. But if you missed an episode, want to watch this again, all the past episodes are right there for you. The little teaser we have coming up in September. It might actually happen. We're trying to arrange it with several contacts that I have. It might actually happen on the night of my birthday, which is September 24th. Possibly. We're working on some dates. It just is in development. But we are going to have members of the Temptations, the Platters, and the Four Tops on our show together in a phenomenal group that they have celebrating that music. Yes, celebrating the music of the Temptations, the Platters, and the Four Tops. They're coming here in September on the Jim Master Show Live. We've been working on that. That's all in development. People that watch this show regularly, that love the show, said, we have an opportunity for you to have them on your show. Would you like them to be on your show? They watch the show. They enjoy the show, Jim. And would you like them on? I'm like, absolutely. We're getting that a lot too. People that watch these episodes like the way it's done, and they want to come on the show, or if they represent somebody, they'll tell them and they'll say, watch the show, watch a couple of episodes. And then they'll end up loving what they're seeing because it's all authenticity here. We like to have a good time. So that's coming up. We have some amazing things coming up. This Sunday, Ryan Kelly from Celtic Thunder and from Burn and Kelly, he's going to be here Sunday. It's going to be midnight in Ireland for him, but it's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific for us. So you won't want to miss that. He's all excited. I think he's going to perform for us as well. We'll find out as we get closer because we're talking. I've known him for years, so I'm talking with Ryan, and we're talking with some of the managers and representatives, and it's going to be really, really cool. So that's just some of the stuff that's coming up. Tomorrow night, Jack O'Halloran is here, legendary actor, Superman, Superman 2, so many other movies, former heavyweight boxer too. That's going to be fantastic. Yeah, Sunday is going to be an amazing show. Don't miss it Sunday because Ryan's going out of his way. It's going to be midnight for him in Ireland. And when Damien was on, Damien McGinty, he's in California, so it was earlier. When Chloe Agnew was on, it was midnight for her. And that's we were toasting with the glasses of wine. We're not sure yet, Danilo. I'll keep you posted. We're still working on it. I'm hoping it's my birthday, which is September 24th. I'm hoping we have them on then. If not, that'll be fine. But we're working on the date now, so stay tuned. Hopefully we'll have the date in September. We're trying to move a few things around to have them come on earlier because we're booked with guests all the way till October. We just booked 4 more people for middle October, which is amazing. But again, if you may remember, we started this show initially not with guests and not really to have guests, to have it be a talk show where it's us. So it's nice when we do have the guests as well. Can't wait for Sunday, Slancha. You're darn right. Love Ryan, fantastic. I know Marcia, I know you'll be here 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific this Sunday. Saw the Temptations live before. They were great. My favorite group growing up. Well, we're going to have an opportunity to have members of the Temptations, Platters, and Four Tops here on our show. So start without you. Yes, mom is a good reason. We will be here. We will be here. I'll talk slowly. I'll do a slow introduction. I'll say, "Hi, I'm Jim Masters. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live. Our very special guest." I'll talk slow so that way you'll have time to click in. Give my best to your mom, Kathleen. I hope she's doing well. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we're trying to work out that maybe having them on, because there's going to be several members. It's going to be cool. There's going to be several guests. We're going to have to tell them, don't use your iPhones. Don't use your iPhones. You'll get all kinds of audio issues. iPhones, for some reason, and streaming don't really work. That would be fantastic. Birthday gift show for you and those that tune in, the Lovities. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, because actually we left that day, September 24th, clear. Didn't have any guests scheduled. We figured it would be a great, like a birthday show, and have you guys, the viewers, on and do some cool things, maybe a cake or whatever we do on the birthday. But then when we had this opportunity to invite members from the Temptations, Platters, and Four Tops on, that would be cool to have them on if it works out. They're definitely coming on. It's just we're trying to figure out what date works. Wait a minute. You're still there? Have you been with us the whole time? If you notice, the clicking is gone, Willie. The clicking was only on when Artie was on, because he was on with an iPhone, and the iPhone that he used, and I think his Wi-Fi signal wasn't really too strong. So it created all those crazy clicking sounds, which I don't like to hear either. But you got the gist of everything, and it was really good. Viewers asked all kinds of questions. It was really, really cool. And yeah, Linda, they're some of the best. I would agree. It was great having Artie on, really interesting. And I'm so glad that you guys were a part of it. And again, I really appreciate you guys watching the show. This is something very special that we're doing here on the internet, and not foolproof. We're at the mercy of technology sometimes, and birds flying over, or iPhones, or whatever it may be. But we really enjoy doing this. This is really a pleasure, and it's a thrill. And we've got our cast of characters, and we have so many fun things that we do together. You guys are great. Wow, love. I know it's going to be cool. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I know that. You go to the YouTube channel when the phone's going to die, which is great. And you've got that whole, YouTube thing down now, which is really cool. Kathleen just had some chocolate ice cream. Good. I have a fudgesicle. I did have a fudgesicle last night. I'm going to have a fudgesicle again. This show takes a lot of energy, because we go on. It's like 2.5 hours here. Was it a cone, a cup? Was it on a stick? What kind of ice cream? We're going to start getting into food, and people are going to want to start talking about ice cream. I love ice cream. I also love pudding too. Pudding. A lot of people don't bring up pudding, but I like vanilla. I like chocolate. I like tapioca. I like bread pudding. I like rice pudding. I like all kinds of pudding. You're on YouTube. You just forgot your password. There might be a way to retrieve your password on YouTube. I think there is a way. Probably there is a way, because I think I had changed mine years ago too. Love the show. Thank you. My pleasure, Mary. I'm so glad that you're here. This week, truly a variety of guests. That's what it's all about here at the Jim Masters Show Live. It's not just about singing. It's not just about music. It's not just about Broadway or Hollywood or television or health or wellness or food or science or blah, 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 blah. It's about life. It's all about life. And it's about coming up with great ways to entertain, inform, inspire you, connect with you, and share these experiences. And now that we've got Gilligan with us, we're in good shape. We might be adding some more cast of characters. I have a few more people that want to add to our studio set here, so I think that is great. I was actually quiet tonight, or was I? My dry Irish humor. Were you zen? Was Jen zen? I have to get a Gilligan doll. Here he is, Kathleen. Pretty cool, huh? Aloha, Jim. I keep wanting to say Ola. Same thing. Aloha, Jim. Dream of Denver. Really beautiful. Appreciate her sending that. And he sits right here on set next to George and Jeannie. You are good. You are right. You're talking about when you get clicking and all that from the iPhones. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very true. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. You're very welcome. My pleasure. That's right. The variety is important for our growth, to keep open to new things. That's right. And that's what I love. Variety is the spice of life. So this show isn't the same thing every day. Yes, Ryan is here on Sunday. And oh, I should tell you, for those of you who are still with us, Ryan Kelly, great friend, known him for years, interviewed him multiple times on public television for like 10, 15 years at least. Ryan is this Sunday, okay? The following Sunday, also from Celtic Thunder, Neil Byrne. Yes, Neil Byrne from Celtic Thunder, and also Byrne and Kelly. Ryan Kelly and Neil Byrne also perform as a duo, and they do all kinds of great concerts, and they have CDs, and they're terrific, and they're funny together. Ryan, instead of having them both, it's going to be a double gift to fans and to our viewers, because Ryan is going to be here exclusively this Sunday on the show. Neil Byrne, also from Celtic Thunder, is going to be here the following Sunday. That'll be, I believe it's the 30th. That's right. Really exciting stuff. Oh, yeah. Now you're after my heart. Butterscotch pudding. That sounds delicious, doesn't it? Butterscotch pudding. Oh, yeah. Boy, my hair really is getting long here. Butterscotch pudding. Absolutely. I love butter. God, I haven't had that in years. First time I had that was at my Aunt Lillian and Uncle Marvin's house in West Hartford, Connecticut. And it was delicious. You know, I think we're gonna do a whole food show, and I'm gonna bring on some chefs. I cook as well. I wouldn't say I'm a trained chef, but I do like to cook, and I come from a family that loves to cook. All my aunts, mothers, even the guys. My sister loves to cook. My mother loves to bake. All of us we enjoy food, that's for sure. I think we're going to do a whole show coming up soon that's all about food, because you guys, the minute you hear food, and if one of our guests mentions food, you guys are like, ooh, I like this, and I like to do this with it. And like last night, David, the professional magician and entertainer, started talking about pizza pies, and the fresh tomato pizzas. And you guys were really chiming in beautifully about all these different kinds of pizza. And oh, wow. You had Belgian chocolate ice cream straight up. That sounds delicious. And Renee has, mint chocolate chip. Are you having that now? And did you lose anything? When your power went out, did you lose a lot of food, or did you have a generator? Because again, you had that wicked storm. I'm still watching videos late at night before I retire for the evening, go to bed. On the Dorico that came through Iowa and Illinois. That was amazing. There is some unbelievable amateur footage. Linda, I have a chocolate Klondike bar. That is really, really cool. Ice cream sandwich for me. Wow. September is a busy month for September birthdays. I know. My birthday, my nephew and godson's birthday. Well, it's actually his is in October, right after, but we're Libras. My brother-in-law's birthday, mine's the 24th. One of my best friends that I've known for like 20 plus years, who's in New York. His birthday is 2 days after mine. Then my brother-in-law's birthday is 2 days after his. And then a week after that is my nephew and godson's birthday. Before that, in September, is my cousin Kathy's birthday. September is a busy birthday month. We're going to have a lot of great shows coming up for you, too. I wish I could show you a stack of stuff we have for these shows that are coming up. Really, really cool stuff. Willie's still here. I appreciate that. And Jen is Zen on Sweet Italian Wine, red wine. Now salute. You forgot to do something tonight, Jennifer. You know what it is? You forgot to ask him if he went to that restaurant, that Chinese restaurant in Chinatown in New York, like you asked the guests. And you forgot to ask him if he was a mountain person or an ocean person. He lives in New Jersey, so what I would say maybe ocean, but then again, if he's in inland, could be a mountain person. I'll ask him. I'll text him and I'll ask him. Yours is the 13th of September, so you're a September baby like me and some of the others that I just mentioned. That's cool. So you are a Virgo. I'm a Libra, balance and harmony. And a friend of mine years ago said, Jim, I have to do your astrological chart. I go, really? What do you mean? Astrological chart? Why? And she said, I'm getting just such positive energy and vibes from you that I have to do it. I'm being told to do it. And this is a colleague, an on-air co-host colleague of mine on public television in New York. So I said, sure. And she did it. And that's when she said, you have Virgo rising. And I knew I was a Libra, but she said, you're a Virgo rising, which was really cool. The other thing she said, which was really cool too, she said, there's one big thing that stood out. And I said, what's that? What stood out? She said, it would make your life easier if you learned not to concern yourself with it. And I said, well, what's that? And she said, you worry too much about whether or not you're pleasing people. She said, you do. You're one of those people who just happens to, concern yourself as to whether or not you're pleasing others. You like to please others. You like to provide pleasure and enjoyment for others. You like to kind of like a little bit what Artie talked about earlier, as far as really not setting boundaries. And you're always like running to everybody else, making sure they have what they need. And Death Valley did sort of create those boundaries, which was cool. That's why I mentioned that Death Valley story. But she said, if you would just stop being concerned about whether you're pleasing people, that would be great, because your personality automatically takes care of that. Your personality automatically, when you come into a room, people feel at ease. There's levity. You don't demand anything. You don't ask for anything. You don't shake the room up. You don't cause chaos. You're somebody who tries to settle things for people and try to calm people. And you're always looking for ways to bring people together. So if you would just not concern yourself with whether you're pleasing others, you can't please everybody. This just doesn't exist. But if you don't concern yourself with the fact that you're pleasing people, you do it anyway. It's already happening. So that will be one thing you can cross off. So that was really valuable. I mean, I'd never heard that before. I always thought that, but never heard that before. And that was cool. And that was years ago. She did that. You lost power for 22 hours. You bought a generator, fellow Libran. That's right. We talked about that. October 14th, you're a Libra as well. That's why, remember when you and I went into New York City together, which was really cool. We had dinner, and then we went to see Emmett O'Hanlon and former Celtic Thunder member, and Colm Keegan that was with him? Got to remember who the other person was with him. Was it Colin? But it was a great night. One of my friends invited us for dinner, and you came and you joined me. And we talked about that, I think, on the train, that we were both Libras, which was really cool. That was a really great night. Remember that, Marcia, in New York City? Very true. That's very true. You're watching on YouTube, Willie. You really have to, right? I know. And sometimes that takes time to learn that. For me, I had to drive alone through Death Valley to learn that because had to depend on myself and the car to get through Death Valley with no supplies, with a rental car, in August and 110-degree heat, whatever it was. So, and without any announcement that I was doing it. So, very, very wise, very true. I realize that. And I will tell you that when I do go on an airplane, which I haven't since March, hopefully soon we can get on them. I still do, about this much of me still does have a problem when I hear the flight attendants say, well, put the mask on yourself first before you put the mask on others. I still, this much, still want to automatically, on autopilot, pun intended, on a plane, want to help that person next to me first. When I see fortunately, we've never had it happen where the oxygen masks have dropped in front of us. But I sort of still cringe a little bit, like, I want to help that person next to me. I want to get the mask on them first before myself. But I realize you're not supposed to do that. They need to take care of them, and then they can help others. You need to take care of you, put the oxygen mask on you first, and then you can take care of others. So I understand that. That resulted from that Death Valley trip. We're working on a few things with that Death Valley story because I've told people I've interviewed in my professional work on Close-Up Radio and others. I've interviewed psychiatrists, I've interviewed psychologists, life coaches, therapists, scientists, a lot of inspirational people too. And I do that often. And I've mentioned the Death Valley story to them, and they're like, my God, you got to write a book. I feel like I'm in the car with you. It's so inspiring, and other people can be inspired by it. You should do a movie or a book or a video on it. I did a Master's Mantra video, which is on YouTube that you can see. This is my Death Valley story. It's like a brief synopsis of the story, but a lot of people have asked me to create a production as a result of the story, which could maybe help others and inspire others to be in touch with self and create boundaries and still realize there'll be experiences that'll be meant just for you, and that's okay. You don't always have to share all of them. So very true, very, very true, Willie. Nice conversation we're having here with everybody, including the fact that you're having salted caramel ice cream. Now that's the bomb. That sounds really, really good. And you're having cookie dough ice cream too? Wow, that sounds great. Renee's husband is the 12th, daughter's the 29th. So you have the Virgo and the Libra. I think the 12th is Virgo, right? Or is it, right now I believe it's Leo. I think it's Leo. I'm thinking about maybe, there's a couple of astrologers I've interviewed professionally. I was booked to be the host to interview that astrologer. Maybe I'll bring one of them on, and we'll just have an interesting show. Whether somebody believes in it or not, doesn't matter. You always learn something new every day. Christine seems birthdays of ones we know are all at the same time. Your mom's birthday is the 25th of September. She's a Libra, so she's probably somebody always trying to create balance and harmony. Maybe she's somebody who probably saw both sides of a question. Like with me, if it's a major decision, usually I create a pro-con list. Okay, what are all the pros before we decide and sign on the dotted line or spend the money or do whatever it is? We do a pro-con list. Okay, what are all the pros? What are the cons? How big are the pros? How big are those cons before we decide what it is? Even when it comes to purchasing a car, there might be a certain style, model, what have you, torque, horsepower. I'll drive by that lot several times at night, seeing that car and thinking and deciding, and then watch YouTube videos and doing research and everything prior. But then there are times when it's like, what the heck? It's a lot more pleasurable to just grab it and do it instead of doing all of the, if it's something simple, if it's something like a big decision like a car or something, you do want to do some investigative research, make sure you're spending your money wisely. But on other things, like going on a mini excursion for the day, my family knows that when sometimes, depending on the time of the year, obviously, in the summertime or in the fall, if you get in the car with me and it's like a weekend or a holiday weekend or something, we're going to go on a road trip and we don't know where we're headed. I don't know. The car doesn't know. And the family, relatives, friends, whoever's in that car, they don't know either. Now, a lot of times people like to plan things out. And sometimes people in the car, well, where are we headed? Where are we going? I'm like, who knows? I don't know. Wherever the car takes us. And, usually planning things out is great. But sometimes you have some of the most incredible times when you don't plan it and you have people in the car, which I think is why when I was in Death Valley, why it bothered me in the beginning that I didn't have the loved ones and friends in the car experiencing this first time, never done before, never seen or experienced before experience. I'm so used to having folks in the car and then taking them and me wherever we go. Like, for example, we've driven through Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, hooked around Massachusetts, through Boston, the tunnel in Boston, through Rhode Island, looping around to Connecticut, over towards New York, all in the same day, stopping off at little places like little antique shops or, beautiful visual scenic overlooks, especially in the fall, because here in the Northeast, the fall is obviously beautiful with the foliage and pumpkin pie and hot apple cider and all that cool stuff. So there's times when, and my mother actually says it all the time when she is in the car, when you're in the car with, she'll say Jimmy, when you're in the car with Jimmy, you never know where you're going to end up. And she's right. And I have found those to be some of the most pleasurable, joyful, coolest times when we get in the car and we just go wherever and we stop off in this town and we go have some, hot apple cider or coffee or latte, whatever it is, not at a Starbucks, but at a local little bakery, a little shop that's in Vermont or New Hampshire or wherever. And it's fantastic. And it's something that we didn't plan. It's something that we didn't structure. It's something where both or all of us in the car are experiencing at the same time. So it's new to me, the driver, and it's new to the family in the car or friends or whoever is in the car at the time. That's really cool. So there was a time when we all went to Bermuda, and the first time we went, it was on a cruise. It was actually through a radio station, and it was a cruise with Jim Masters and all the listeners. It was really, really cool. A travel agency approached me and our station, and they said, we'd like to do a cruise with Jim Masters because he has this radio show, and the listeners, all the faithful listeners. So it was a really cool cruise. It was a 10-day cruise or a 10-day excursion to Bermuda. And it was fantastic. And the cruise ship was great. The food, the midnight buffets, everything. Smooth sailing. It was wonderful. And we left out of New York and went right to Bermuda. Terrific. What we didn't do is we didn't have everything structured when we went to Bermuda because there was so much going on the cruise ship. Once we got off the cruise ship to meander around beautiful Bermuda, we wanted to really see the sights and experience things on our own and sort of plan our day as we were going along. Let's go to, the caves, or let's go to the beach, or let's go here. Let's go to, the botanical garden or the museum, or go on the mopeds and see it fresh without any predispositions. And it was fantastic. Everybody, we all had a fantastic time. It was great because we didn't have to be anywhere. The only thing that we had to be at was the dinner on the cruise ship. They had two seatings. They have the early dinner seating and then they have the later dinner seating. think it's like 4 o'clock and 8 o'clock. One thing we learned is if we plan on wanting to go to the midnight buffet, don't go to the late seating for dinner on the cruise ship, because you're still going to be stuffed by the time that midnight buffet comes. So try to go for if you want to dine on the cruise ship as part of the package. Wouldn't it be cool if we did a Gym Master Show live cruise with all of you, and I talked to a travel agency and somehow we pulled together a cruise with all of you? I have friends that work for several travel agencies, and they do, not yet, because the cruise ships, obviously, not yet. But when things are able to do that, would that not be cool if we cruise to Bermuda, or we go to the islands, or we cruise through Europe? How many of you would like to do something like that? We go on a Gym Masters Show cruise. Maybe we even do some episodes of the show on the cruise ship and get involved with the entertainers that are on the ship, and we do something really fun like that. Maybe we can do some. I've been thinking about doing on location things maybe with the viewers, so maybe we can do something cool like that. How many of you would like to do something like that down the line when we're able to do that? That would be very cool. We get a chance to meet and greet and have fun and have dinner together and enjoy. I'm thinking about that. Let me know if you like that idea, because I could talk to some folks that are friends, dear friends, family friends that work in the travel industry world, and we might be able to put something like that together, which would be really, really cool. So getting back to Bermuda, the first time we went, the only thing planned was what was structured on the cruise ship. Everything we did on the island of Bermuda, we did as we did it. Hey, let's try this. Let's go here. Let's do that. My folks were with us too. So it was really, really nice. And the second time we went, we structured everything. Okay, when we got off the cruise ship, we had to be at this thing at 4 o'clock. And then we got to go to this. Then we're on this thing. And then we got to be here. And it felt too claustrophobic. And we were running around too much trying to get to everything. I mean, we actually were on the cruise ship going across the Atlantic to the middle of the Atlantic, where Bermuda is, like 600 miles off the coast of North Carolina. Everybody thinks of Bermuda as down in the Caribbean. It's actually straight across from the Carolinas, right in the middle of the Atlantic. It's amazing that island exists in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It's a beautiful place. We, after being on the cruise ship for, I think it was like 3 days or so, 2 days, 3 days, something like that, maybe 2, 3. I think it was 2 or 3. The first thing we did when we got off was go on another boat. We went on a boat that was an excursion that took you around the islands where they throw the bread in the water and all the fish come and everything. It was a glass bottom boat. The last thing you want to do when you get off a cruise ship after being on the ocean and being around the water so much is to get on another boat right away. So we sort of misplanned that one. I wasn't the one who planned it, but we all went for it. So we all, when we were on that cruise ship, the cruise ship was great. It's just that when we were on the island the second time we went, everything was too structured. Everything was like we had to run to be at this and this and this. And we were all exhausted by the time we were done with everything. We're like, next time we'll see what we see. So bottom line, it all leads to what we're talking about, as far as sometimes you just got to do stuff without making it so structured and so super planned. And sometimes when you do that, you'll have some amazing moments in life. So sometimes I'm known as, when you get in the car with me, if we have time, obviously, if we have to go to work or there's things you have to do, we can't do it. But generally, if it's like a holiday weekend, or if it's a weekend, or we're on vacation, you can get in the car with me and you never know where we end up. And everybody ends up having a phenomenal time, including me, because we discover these really cool places together. That's a lot of fun. And I don't care about, mileage or, oh, you're spending money on gas for the car. None of that stuff. It's the experiences that we're creating that aren't planned that can be some of the most joyous and deep. And we have found that. We always have a camera with us so we can, capture some of it. But you also can't, and I've had to learn, you can't let the camera, like cell phones with video and pictures, overtake you either. You got to enjoy what you're doing and not just always capture it. I love to capture and document everything, probably why I work in the industry I do. Jennifer says crushed fine graham crackers, vanilla pudding, then chocolate pudding, eat cold. Oh yeah. So you put crushed fine graham crackers in your vanilla pudding. Oh, so you do crushed graham crackers, then vanilla pudding, then chocolate pudding, and you eat it cold. That sounds good. That sounds really, really good. I like that. Linda says, all about food. I'm in. Francis goes, ha ha. Renee mentioned that we lost some food, but then got a generator to save some other food. Good. That's good. And I hope that your power company, I know in this area here, they're still fighting the power company, which is EverSource. I better not say that too loud. The lights might go out. We didn't lose power here during the tropical storm Isaias, but a lot of other people did. And they're trying to see if the power company is going to credit for the food losses, which can be extreme. We'll have ice cream after the show. If we go on a big cruise somewhere, we can certainly do that. Christine says, my dad had homemade butterscotch syrup. Homemade butterscotch syrup? I'll have to look at his recipe. Yeah, share that with us. That sounds really good. I got a recipe from Renee once. That's right. We'll have to remember that. We're going to be singing a lot of happy birthday together, it seems. You got it, Jennifer. Go with the flow. Valerie Porter. Jim Masters TV, noted and passed the info along. Thank you very much, Valerie. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very, very much. I like cruise. You've done 12 cruises, huh? 12 cruises? Bermuda would be beautiful. You know, I'd like to go back to Bermuda. Let me know. You can post in the comments. You can also send me a Facebook message or an Instagram message. I'm on Instagram at Jim Masters TV, Twitter at Jim Masters TV, Facebook at Jim Masters TV, and our YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV. You can also send an email to jimmasterstv@gmail.com. That's the email address for the Jim Masters Show. Let me know if you like that idea. I'm thinking about that. Maybe we can do a Jim Masters Show cruise somewhere. Maybe it's Bermuda, maybe somewhere else. Could be Europe, could be Caribbean. I've done 2 of them with radio stations where I hosted shows. The travel agency approached me and we put it all together, and the turnout was sold out. It was incredible. I was, humbled by it. It immediately sold out. So many people wanted to be on the cruise, and we had such a fantastic time. It was great meeting all the listeners, and we had a phenomenal time. So maybe we will do something like that. I've been thinking about that for the longest time, and tonight just made me thinking about that again. Go with the flow. That's right. You got it. Go with the flow. You said that earlier, and I like it. I like showing that one again. Take the scenic route, back roads. Yeah, I like to do that whenever we go places. I'll go to the main places that are the claim to fame, but I like to see the nooks and crannies and stop off at little cafes and little eateries and little mom and pop and little. When you do that, I think you get a real, authentic, honest feeling for a town or a city or a region. Where are like when we were in Wichita, Kansas, where Marilyn is from, who watches the show. We said, what's a really good place to go that represents the area? And everybody said, you got to go to the Doodah Diner. The Doodah Diner. And that's exactly where we went. And it was fantastic. It was really, really great. Why I would never have a wedding planned, get hitched, go with the flow. Well, when that happens, we will announce it here live. Yes, that's the recipe you sent us. Incredible. I could see why your father loves those. I've never heard of them before, and you sent the recipe to me, and I really appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. Thanks for sending that. That was delicious. Also, Christine, I got those pictures. I think it was the pictures of the flowers there in North Carolina. We're going to show those. I'm going to try to slip them in somehow over the weekend, okay? You know, some of you like to send me pictures of things you're doing, hobbies, of your family, of your flower gardens, of whatever it is, your pets. Feel free to do that at gymmasterstv@gmail.com, and I'll try to put a show together where we, you know, show some of that. We've done it before, and I enjoy doing that because I like to be. The main thing about this show is you and I. Then we bring the guests on. So that's the way I structured this show. The show is host and viewer centric, and then the various guests we have and the various topics and the various fun and levity and information we have comes with the package. But this show is structured to be first about moi and y'all. That's what it is. I love this relationship with you guys, and talking with you and sharing with you. We don't always have to have guests all the time. I love having the guests, but I love shows too when we don't. And it seems like you guys do too. I get messages all the time. Are you going to have a show where it's just us? And yes, that's how we started the show, the series. So being your host here, Jim Master Show Cruise, cool idea of the Lovities. Yeah, you know, we can call it the Lovities Cruise. Meaning, wow, Willie, 12 times. That's a long time, I know. I go with you on the cruise. I am the first. She's already signing up. She already wants to go on the cruise. We need a Gym Masters fan group page. Blah, blah, blah. I really needed to have vodka with what went on tonight. Oh, in the beginning where, you know, he couldn't get on. And this should have had vodka. Instead, it's just orange juice. But the orange juice is good. I'll pretend. Ooh, got a kick to it now. We need a Gym Masters fan group page where we can share recipes and pictures, etc. Well, definitely feel free to do that on the Gym Masters TV page on Facebook. If you want to put anything on there, go ahead. It doesn't always have to just be about the show, you know, the series. You can feel free. I'm there, and you know me. I'm very busy, but I try to be as responsive as possible on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Gym Masters TV, and also on YouTube as well. We're going to be doing some more of those Masters Mantra videos that you guys really like too. That's a great idea. Yes. I've been to Venice. Yes, it's a beautiful place. Malta, Lisbon, beautiful places. Jennifer's in the mood for warm chicken. Didn't you just have all this ice cream and now you're in the mood for warm chicken flavored rice-a-roni, melted butter and salt? Yum. You know, that does sound good. I have spaghetti and meatballs waiting for me and a fudgesicle. But I'm enjoying talking to you guys. We haven't done this in a while during the weekdays. Flew to San Diego, then to Sydney, Australia, and sailed to Melbourne, Tasmania, New Zealand. Great time. That sounds wonderful. That's quite a flight from San Diego to Australia, isn't it? That is quite a flight. You sleep on that one, that's for sure. You know we'd have fun, that's for sure. If we went on some sort of an adventure, whether it's a cruise or some adventure where we all got together. I know there are viewers that watch overseas. Some of the overseas viewers, because of the hour of the day, you know, we do this at 7 p.m., which is perfect for here on the East Coast. And it's, you know, 6 Central, and it's 5 Mountain Time, and it's 4 Pacific. That's the reason why we do it at 7 p.m. Eastern, is because, you know, sometimes there's other things that happen later. People are having dinner at 5 and 6. If they're working, they're coming home from work at 5 and 6. But so some of our viewers who watch the show will watch it in the archives on YouTube, because I've noticed, the views on YouTube once the show is archived are amazing. All of a sudden, whoosh, the show with Landau, it's from America's Got Talent, the guest we had. He and I have been chatting ever since. We chatted for a half hour after that show. He stayed on in the queue window, and he was having chicken salad. And I think it was his girlfriend was with him, and met her, and we were laughing about remember he kept getting that, all of a sudden, mysteriously, a glass of Kool-Aid kept coming into the picture. I'm like, who's there giving you all that Kool-Aid? It was really funny. We had so much fun with Landau. You can see why he won 6th season of America's Got Talent. We chatted for a half hour after that show, and it was amazing. Where's the list to sign up? Willie just signed up first. But yes, it's a great idea once it's safe to travel. I have friends of mine, again, who have a travel agency, who've asked me for my professional work, the stuff I do in television and radio, if I wanted to do something like that. But now that we created this show where I'm speaking to you guys directly and we have this interaction, I'm thinking we could do it with the Jim Masters show live. We can do some sort of adventure, like a cruise or something. How cool would that be, right? That'd be a lot of fun. We'll get that together. I think I'm gonna run that by my friends that have the travel agency. They're in Connecticut, but right now they're in Florida at their property in Florida. And they usually watch this show too. You're eating ice cream right now. This show makes everybody hungry. Spaghetti for dinner tonight. Small world. See, are we psychic? Are we intuitive? A lot of people have said a couple of things about me, which is really interesting. And these are, people at an expert level. And one of my friends is similar. We've co-hosted stuff together. And people have said that I operate from a higher consciousness because of I hear things and feel things deeply. And the way I visualize things and see color and just the level of creativity, I think that's really cool. That I'm intuitive, which I found to be relatively accurate, because a lot of times I know and can feel what's going to happen before it happens. Not always, but generally, and what people are going to say and how they're going to react and act before they even do it. And that often tends to be the case too. I don't like think anything of it. I don't have a business revolved around it or any of that. It's just general stuff, but it's pretty accurate. And a lot of people have come to me as well and say, what do you think about this? What do you, advice? And I give them this advice, and it turns out to be beneficial for them, which is really cool. And the other thing is that I was told recently by somebody I interviewed, who's a life coach, actually, and I interviewed her on Close Up Radio. She's on the West Coast. She's in Washington State. She said, you are what they call a high-level empath. I said, what's that? I said, is it tied to empathy, empathetic? And she said, yeah. She said, you are empathetic. You can really empathize with a lot of people's issues, struggles, when they don't have self-worth, when they're questioning themselves. You really empathize with that. When somebody's hurt, when somebody's down, when there's injustice, you really empathize with that, and you want to help them, and you want to sort of correct the situation. That's pretty cool. I think multiple people have said it, not just one person or guessed at that. Those three things: higher consciousness, intuitive, high-level empath. I think that's pretty cool. I think that's really, really cool stuff. We all will get in so much good, clean, fun trouble. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it, guys. And Linda says, absolutely. You mean if we go on a cruise together? That would be really, really something. I think we should do something like that, huh? You guys let me know. Thinking about that. Just want to remind you again, for those who tuned in late, this is National Radio Day So I salute everybody involved in radio, the radio industry, my fellow colleagues, all the folks who've listened over the years on radio. Again, I've worked for multiple radio stations over the years. This is one of the first professional jobs I had. This was at WLIX Radio in New York. Then I did 18 years on iHeartRadio in Connecticut, WELI in New Haven. Also worked for WXBA New York, WCWP in New York, WNLC and WTYD, FM and AM in Connecticut. Been on the air on WGAN in Portland, Maine, WGCH, Greenwich, Connecticut. There's another shot. Hosting on WELI. That's with the shorter hair. We had the Cub Scouts come in, which was a lot of fun. You know, you have a lot of people that come through the stations, radio stations and TV stations touring. And that was really, I always loved when kids would come in and show them all the equipment and let them go on the air with me and sort of co-host for the day, which I love too. And, you know, that's really a joy. And these were the the local Cub Scout troop had come in, and they had a lot of fun. You know, when they see all the equipment and everything, they're like, "Oh, what's this? What's this? How does this work? Can I talk on the radio?" And it was really, really cool. Really, really nice. Yes, cheers H2O to all the radio shows. And radio started on August 20th. So it's in America, at least. I don't know if it is in Canada, but it's National Radio Day. This was on WQUN, the Quinnipiac University station, which was also a lot of fun. Enjoyed that as well. That's WATR, legendary station in Waterbury, Connecticut. So good stuff. Yeah, one more salute to National Radio Day, as fellow colleagues and broadcasters all around the country celebrate the invention of radio and the impact radio has had on all of our lives, which is really, really cool. Really great stuff. Our local radio station in town, KCOB, I always called it the corn cob station. Cob, I bet that the cob might be tied into the fact that Iowa is known for, you know, the fields and fields of corn there in Middle America. Could be. You know, Renee, I was watching one of the archives of the storm, the Dorico in Iowa, and I was watching one of the weather reporters on one of the stations. And there's a really cool video where the station is actually, the building is shaking and the doors are ripped open. And I'll get the name of the female weather meteorologist, but she was amazing. She did a great job. Thanks for a wonderful evening, Mr. Loverty. My pleasure. Thoroughly enjoyed having you guys here. WLIX, Long Island, New York. That was really, really cool. Very first time on the air professionally on a radio station was right there and then. Like sharing stuff like that with you, sort of opening up a little bit of my world as well. Taking a look at a couple of more comments here. Thank you for a great night. Give Mom my best, Kathleen. I hope to see her soon. And I hope you have a good time visiting her. We'll be here tomorrow night for you with our very kettle corn, melted butter, salt. Yum. You're making us all hungry, Jennifer. Real quick, just a reminder as we're here, what the heck? Why not? Jack O'Halloran, legendary actor and former heavyweight boxer. He's been in major movies, Superman 2, and so many others. He's here tomorrow night. And then on Saturday, Suze Lanier is going to be with us. She's been in a host of things. She was in The Hills Have Eyes, that very scary movie. She was in the TV series Three's Company, Welcome Back, Kotter, and so much more. She's excited. She's here Saturday. And again, on Sunday, my great friend Ryan Kelly from Celtic Thunder is going to be here as well. He's also a brilliant solo artist. And that's a very special show this Sunday night, live exclusively here on the Jim Masters Show live. Don't miss that one. I sure will. Really hope you get to meet her. I hope I get to meet her as well. Good night to all the lovelies. Looking forward to upcoming shows. Great night tonight, you guys. Really great night. 4:15. Now I go again to bed. You like it so much, you don't go to sleep until we wrap the show, huh? That is funny. Yes, I think he does. Yeah, he knows all of them. Even he knew Muhammad Ali, and it's going to be wonderful having him on tomorrow. We're talking about Jack O'Halloran, who is my guest tomorrow night, the actor, legendary actor and heavyweight boxer, former heavyweight boxer. A couple more comments here. Our church was shaking and one of the basement doors was locked but got sucked open, and I had to grab it and shut it and almost ended up getting caught by the wind myself. I've been watching some videos of the storm also. Feel lucky that we fared well. Those videos on YouTube are amazing, and people are uploading them. You know, they're capturing the trees coming down and the destruction. It really was like a hurricane or a tornado. Francis, thank you very much. We love having you here on our shows. We have a unique experience here. Wouldn't you say that? This show is definitely, there's something for everybody on this show. And lots of viewer interactivity. I'm really a big believer in that. Good night, all. Thank you for a fun night. My pleasure, Mary Bishop, as well. Thanks for taking extra time tonight with us. You're very generous with your time for us and the show. My pleasure. I've wanted to do that for a while, and I thought tonight was good because Artie had to scoot off. So I said, you know what? I'm still energized. I want to communicate with my audience, the faithful, the loyal, the folks who tune in and share links, and you guys go out of your way to watch the show and, you know, share it and rave about it. And it's cool. I'm here, you know, so why not? It's like I've taken you in the car and we don't know where we're going. You're in the car with Jimmy and we're going through Vermont and New Hampshire and Maine and Rhode Island and Massachusetts and Connecticut. We don't know where we're headed. It's always like that on this show. So couple more here. Jennifer says, thank you. My pleasure. And let's see, just a few more here. Willie says, I also have spaghetti with red sauce, self-made. She made her own spaghetti tonight, watching on YouTube with the Jim Masters TV channel. Sounds delicious. I'm going to have it too. It's like 20 after 10 here. A little extended episode. But you guys are amazing. You amaze me. Right, because we're traveling, right? Do you have gas? I mean, I could look at that question a lot of different ways. Do you have gas? If somebody just tuned in right now and they saw it, do you have gas? They would think perhaps we're doing a health and wellness show, a show about indigestion, and which we're not. Do you have gas for the car, as I'm taking all of you on this Jim Masters Show live road trip, verbal road trip, vocal road trip. But if somebody just flipped around and tuned in right now, and Francis is asking Jim Masters, does he have gas? You got to find humor in everything, right? Yes. Let's show the other part of that question. In the car. I go dream of the cruise and the road trip. You're going to go to sleep now and dream of the Jim Masters Show cruise, right? Well, folks, ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you do want to do something like that. Obviously, we can't go right now, but it's something we can put in the works so we can get it into the fire, and maybe we can do. I've done a couple of them with viewers and listeners in my professional world on television, radio. Maybe we can do something like a cruise with Jim Masters and all the Lovedies, a Lovedies cruise. Boy, so much fun we would have, huh? Have oil. This show is one of a kind. Good night, Jim and Lovedies, and Gilligan again. We'll show him again since he's so new. Gilligan is here. Gilligan says goodnight to all of you as well. Really love this. I tell you, I feel like a kid again, having Gilligan here, sent by Bob Denver's lovely wife, Dream of Denver. I really appreciate her doing that. She's a special soul, as you learned when you saw the interview we did together, which that was an epic evening. Enjoyed that. All right, gang. We appreciate everything. We're going to get ready to wrap up. Thanks for all the great comments. Thanks for all the levity. Hope you enjoyed Artie. He was a hoot. Technical noises there because of the use of him using the iPhone. But you got a chance to really hear it. He was terrific. It was a great episode. You can watch it again in the archives. And we'll make sure to tell all the guests, don't use an iPhone. It just doesn't work. A Lovity's cruise. A Lovity's cruise would be awesome. You know, you guys really have me thinking about that. And it's something I was approached on. I was having dinner with my friends that have the travel agency last year. And they have been trying to think of ideas through my professional work in television and radio to have a cruise with one of the other shows that I host in my professional world. But it would be cool to do it with you guys. I think it would be cool to do it with you guys. So let me know. And I'm going to put that together. Good night, Marilyn. You guys are real troopers. Night, night. This is the only show where I say goodnight several times. You guys say goodnight several times. And nobody wants to be the one that disconnects. That means we're all filled with heart and soul on this show, you lovities. Nobody wants to be the one that says bye. Night, night. Good night, everyone. Good night, lovities. Good night, Mr. Lovity. You sent me a picture? Terrific. Thank you, Allison. I'll look for that at jimmasterstv@gmail.com. Yeah, your dry Irish humor and mine was working overtime tonight. All right, gang, we're going to wrap so everybody can go eat or sleep or start their day if they're in Australia or New Zealand, whatever it might be. Bing, bang, boom. That's everything. That's a heart, a kiss, a thumbs up, the care sign, clapping, more heart, pray, kiss, and thumbs up. You said it all, Kathleen. Willie's still there. Double tulips for Willie. Don't forget. Oh, I almost forgot with all this. We are the Waltons. I know. All right. Here we go. I'll start. It's like a plane that is starting its descent when we end the show. So I'll get it going. Yeah, I know. LOL. It is like the Waltons, right? It's a lot of fun. Can you imagine if we were on a cruise and we were all at the midnight buffet? None of us would go to sleep. So here we go. I know. Just like the Dream of Denver show, the goodbyes are an entire other show. We should do a whole show just of goodbyes. Night, night to all. Don't forget to relax. Don't forget to breathe. So this is like the plane, descending. We're starting to wrap the show now. Don't forget to relax, breathe from the diaphragm, meditate, go out in nature, do things that bring you pleasure and bring pleasure to others. But as we've talked about a lot tonight, you got to bring pleasure to yourself, self-care, and make sure you relax, take care of yourself. We've been through some really unreal times this year, and the year is not over yet. I'm so glad that this was the year I created this online entertainment lifestyle talk show series. People have asked me to do it for years. But there was something about this year. I had the time to do it because I'm not flying in planes to shoots, and I'm not, there was some time. So if I never created this now, none of these fantastic faces and people that I'm seeing here, we would never have been together and have created this Lovity Hall, as Danilo in San Diego calls it. So relax, breathe, take care of one another. And here, this is for all of you, but I know Willie looks for this, the blue star. So here it comes. We're getting close to the end. The plane is getting closer to the tarmac. Coming in for a landing. It's going to be a smooth landing. And if we go on the cruise together, we'll have smooth sailing. And I know you guys are saying, see the plane, I said tonight. That's right. You mentioned that. So this is our plane. Very little sleep on the Lovity's cruise. We'll have so much fun. Yes. You love it here. I know you do. I do too. This is fun. I look forward to this. It's a heck of a lot of work putting these shows together. And what happens is when I sign off, I'm still ramped up. It's almost 10:30 p.m. Eastern here, where we do the show in the greater New York City area on the coast between New York and Boston, as I always say. But I'm ramped up. I say I'm going to go to bed by 11, 11:30, 12, 1, 2. But it is, yeah, I agree, Christelle, it really is. Not just during these times, but I think we've created something really special here. Really cool, really, really special. It's not just a show where we just pop on and we, talk about this, or we sell something, or we just do a quick little, we've really got a connection here that's amazing, It really is. So true. Same for you. Signing off tonight till next time. Thank you, Francis. It was wonderful having you with us. Doesn't matter where we would go, it's the company. That's right. Yes, love it here. My place, my go-to place that I love. I appreciate that. That really means a lot. I really, soak that in, knowing that what we're doing matters to you guys. Wow, lots of stars. There it is. There it is. Here it comes. Plane's getting ready to land as we wrap up the show. I'll be honest here. There's a couple of nights I get so involved with the guest or whatever, the technical stuff, whatever's going on, that I almost forget to do relax and the star. I sort of, got to do it now because it's part of the show. Hearts to you too, Jennifer. Love you guys. Tell all your friends and family we're here. Let's continue to build this show together. This show will be what I want it to be, but it'll also be what you guys want it to be. We'll build this and grow this together. I'm big with that. It's not just all about me and what I want. I am the conductor. I am the conductor of the orchestra. I am the train conductor, keeping the train on the tracks. But love having you guys a part of that team as well. All the lovities out there. So I might be the host and producer of the show, the star of the show, but so are you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, all of you guys and gals from all around the world, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are the stars just as much as I am, and Gilligan and Jeannie and Silver and Jimmy. Gilligan says good night. Good night. Is it time to wrap? It's time to wrap. This is cool. Bobblehead. Gilligan says good night to all of you. That's a wrap. Before the candles burn out, and they're live, they're real. They're not battery operated. They're the real deal. See you. More hearts. Linda is speechless. Renee says bye-bye. Good night, gang. Love you all. It's a pleasure. Love seeing you guys on Facebook as well, and YouTube and everywhere else. And again, the show is all about inspiration, positivity, levity. We'll be out at the ocean in the morning as we get our show ready for tomorrow, and look forward to having you guys here. Don't forget to smile as often as you can, especially during these times. Smile. We'll have a great time tomorrow. If you're not here, the show is available in the archives at Jim Masters TV. All right, gang, this is your host, Jim Masters, officially and fully landing that plane smoothly on the tarmac as we come in. And sometimes, everybody claps, right, when the plane lands. So there's our clapping. We've got our clapping as the plane has landed, and we sign off on the Jim Masters Show live, 3 hours and 29 minutes. Boy, I wish I was paid by the word. Good night, gang. Love you all. Thanks for being with us tonight. Hope you enjoyed this episode of the Entertainment Lifestyle Talk Show series, the Jim Masters Show Live. And thanks for being here with us, too. We really appreciate it. Got fuel? I will in a minute, where we have the spaghetti and meatballs and the fudgesicle. Good night, Jennifer. Good night, everybody. You guys take care. You have a wonderful rest of your day. Be good to yourself. We'll be here tomorrow. Every day is something different. Every day is something cool. And as long as you're here, I'll be here. Good night. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. I am really going away. Bye. Good night. Go to bed. Take care. Bye-bye. One more? There's another one that came in. Oh, well, we got to have that one. All the kisses from Willie. That's a good way to end. We'll end right there. Right back at you. Good night, everybody. Think about that cruise, the Gym Masters cruise, the show cruise with the Lovities, Lovity cruise. Let me know what you think. We might start working on something like that. That would be so cool. All right, take care. We'll see you tomorrow. Tell everybody about the show. Share the links. Invite them to watch. Good night. Bye-bye. Another one? Thank you, Crystal. Thank you. We will enjoy that, and I can't wait. I really want that fudgesicle, but I'll have the spaghetti meatballs first and then the fudgesicle. It's 10:30 at night, and I'm having spaghetti meatballs, but it didn't have time. It was such a busy day today with everything, my professional work, and then with the show here. Very busy. I got to return phone calls, and there's emails and texts to return. We got to take care of all that tomorrow in the morning. Big hugs to you, too. Oh, yeah, let's do that big group hug we like to do. All the Lovities, right? There we go. There's the big group hug, gang. Did you get it? All right. We'll lock that in until tomorrow, okay? There it is for you. All right. Officially signing off. If you believe that. Good night, gang. Oh, no, two more. Yes, very nice. The cruise ship. She's ready for that cruise. She wants to go on the Gym Master Show cruise with all the Lovities. All right. Looks like we're going to have to put that together, everybody. Hugs to you too, Crystal. You take care. You too, Marcia. Marcia, would be a hoot if you went on a Gym Master Show cruise as well with all our Lovities. You're officially a Lovity. This is Lovity Hall. You're one of our Lovities now, Marcia, in Massachusetts. All right. Love you guys. We'll see you again. We're here 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific every night. Wow. Crazy. We'll talk to you soon. You be well, okay? You take care. Have a good night. Bye.